What's that? No, it's just quiet. He hasn't started the broadcast yet. Yeah, he'll fire it at 8:47.
We interrupt our regularly scheduled programming to bring this exclusive ESPN 1140 high school sports broadcast. It's time. Gentle Dental, Central Peninsula Hospital, Ashman Kraus Real Estate at Jack White Real Estate, and Steam on Wheels. Coverage of area hockey teams on ESPN also brought to you by Dan's Automotive, Iowa College, White Spruce Trailer Sales, Construction and Roofing, and Richway Dentist. The 2025-26 high school hockey, ESPN 1140 AM and 96.9 FM. Also sponsored by Peninsula Surgery and Aesthetics, Air Cooley Attorneys at Law, Eyewear Express, Soldotna Professional Pharmacy, Odyssey Family Practice, and Morgan Steele's Central Wealth. The intermission reports for tonight's hockey game on ESPN sponsored by State Farm agent Christy Babcock. Hockey coverage on ESPN 1140 AM and 96.9 FM is also brought to you by Jumpin' Junction, AK Express, Alaska Bolt and Chain, Chenwar Towing and Recovery, Three Bears Alaska, and 3TV. The hockey postgame show on ESPN is sponsored by Peninsula Community Health Services with game recaps, interviews, and the player of the game. Let's go ringside for today's high school hockey broadcast on ESPN 1140 AM, 96.9 FM, and RadioKenai.com.
Well, good evening and welcome to the Kenai Multi-Purpose Facility in Kenai, Alaska. Hockey is back and frigid as ever. Il file de toi, as the French would say. It is very cold. We are coming off, though, a very chilly spate of weather, uncharacteristically cold, some might even say, for the Kenai Peninsula. Temperatures as low as 50 degrees below zero. However, we are warming our way back up into the net positives, where that opening face-off tonight should be around 10 degrees Fahrenheit, which is beautiful. I'm Nick Sorrell, along with Josh Fields, our broadcast producer, back in their K-Beach studio, for those of you tuning in on the radio or RadioKenai.com. And for those of you watching live and streaming on YouTube, Keith Crawford will be operating the camera and producing the YouTube broadcast. It's the Kenai Cardinals and the Bartlett Golden Bears. Kenai coming off a win, a conference win to boot over the Homer Mariners to round out 2025, and then hockey gets that lengthy winter break through the end of December and the first half of January. But now the lethargy is shaken out, and it's time to shake the rust back off the skates as these players are ready to get back into hockey action. The Sweeney's pregame show coming up next here in just a moment. But before we head that direction, do me a favor, hop on the phone, send out a message, make a phone call, make a social media post. Let your friends, your family, and your neighbors know the Kenai Cardinals back at the rink taking on the Bartlett Golden Bears tonight. The Sweeney's pregame show coming up next on ESPN 1140 AM, 96.9 FM, and streaming worldwide at RadioKenai.com.
January savings are here at Sweeney's Clothing in Soldotna. Save 20% off all shoes and boots excluding clearance. Bundle up with Chaco outerwear, 30% off jackets, bibs, snow pants, and snowsuits for the whole family. Stock up on socks, 20% off. Dovetail, 20% off. And Ariat men's, women's jackets, 20% off excluding flame resistant. And celebrate Grundon's 100 years with 20% off sweatshirts. Don't miss huge January savings at Sweeney's Clothing in Soldotna, your workwear and outerwear headquarters for the whole family.
Let's face it, renter's insurance isn't top of mind until, well, it's top of mind. That's why it can be important as a renter to make sure you have the coverage you need at a price you can afford, because you've worked hard for your stuff, right? Your local State Farm agent is ready to help you choose the right renter's insurance that best fits your needs without the headache. Let's start helping protect your stuff with renter's insurance from State Farm today.
Hi, this is Christy Babcock, your local State Farm agent, still in Kenai, and now also at the Soldotna Y.
It is the Sweeney's pregame show. Nick Sorrell here along with Josh Fields, our broadcast producer, back in our K-Beach studio. And for those of you tuning in, watching online on YouTube, Keith Crawford operating the camera and producing that YouTube broadcast. Thank you to everybody who works very hard to get these sports broadcasts on the air. Bob Bird likes to say KSRM is the recognized leader in broadcasting sports in the state of Alaska, and he is dead on correct. Over 250 high school live sports broadcasts every year put on by those of us here at the radio station. If you want to hear live sports, you know where to go. It is the Sweeney's pregame show. The Kenai Cardinals getting back into action tonight, taking on the Bartlett Golden Bears. Bartlett, of course, a Division I team, and Bartlett has been having a bit of a rough time in Division I this year. They come in with a record of just 1-12. Their lone win coming against Delta Junction, and that was on the road, a 6-0 win. Otherwise, it has been some very disparate goal differentials for the Golden Bears. But they do play in a very tough hockey conference in Alaska, that being the CIC, or the Cook Inlet Conference. And we'll talk about where they stand there here in just a moment. But we'll shift over quickly and talk about the Northern Lights Conference in Division II hockey, as the Cardinals right now have a tough road to hoe, as one might say. They are sitting currently in 6th place in the Cook Inlet Conference, and they are 9th overall in the state hockey RPI for Division II. What does that mean? That means that if the season ended today, the Cardinals would not be playing in the state tournament at the MTA Center in Palmer. That could change very quickly with some wins over conference opponents. This game tonight, not a conference opponent, but I would like to think that you don't want to play conference opponents right out of the gate, coming off a month-long break. You want to work yourself back into it. This would be the tune-up game. And so, unfortunately for Bartlett, you get the Cardinals on a night where they're, I think, going to be a little hungry, wanting to get back onto the ice and play some good hockey. So we'll keep talking about what Kenai has been doing leading up to the break and some of the games they have coming up in the next month leading up to the state tournament, as well as the neighbors on the other end of the Kenai Spur Highway, the Soldotna Stars, who will face this Bartlett team tomorrow at the Soldotna Regional Sports Complex. The Sweeney's pregame show continues after this on ESPN Radio.
Upstairs at Beeman's, talking with Steve. 2025 is over. 2026 is here. Happy New Year, Steve.
Happy New Year. It's incredible how fast 2025 went by. Even more amazing is that this is the 37th January that Beeman's has been open. We want to thank you for your support of our business, as well as all the other locally owned businesses in the Central Peninsula. We value your patronage and look forward to serving you in 2026.
Stop into Beeman's, located on the Kenai Spur Highway in Soldotna.
Attention all shoppers. Are you tired of navigating through the chaos of big box grocery stores? Country Foods in Kenai is locally owned and operated. Every time you purchase from Country Foods, you're putting money right back into this community. Country Foods is a full-service supermarket with great customer service, including a full-service meat department consistently going above and beyond to keep customers happy, and a wholesale food distribution center. Stop in and check out the deli or grab something hot on your lunch. Buy local, shop local. Country Foods in Kenai. Buy fresh, spend less.
Welcome back to the Sweeney's pregame show. Nick Sorrell here along with Josh Fields back in our K-Beach studio. And for those of you watching on YouTube on Peninsula Live, Keith Crawford, our camera operator and broadcast producer there. Let's take a look at the Northern Lights Conference standings. The surprise, I would say, of the 2025-26 hockey season for Division II is Palmer. Palmer is way out in front, and they're playing really good hockey. That's after losing 14 seniors including one of the most prolific scorers in the state, Elijah Von Gunten. They don't even have the younger Von Gunten brother, Caleb Von Gunten. He's playing Team Alaska hockey, and that's actually an interesting note. A point of controversy, you might say, for Alaska hockey is that the Team Alaska players are not allowed to play for their high schools this year. In past years, Team Alaska players have been able to double dip, play Team Alaska as well as playing for their high schools. This year, that was a no. And so there's a lot of talented players that are not playing high school this year. They're just playing Team Alaska puck. So Palmer way out in front, 7-0 in conference play already. They had a front-loaded conference schedule before the break, and they're 13-3 overall. Right behind them is Houston, 3-0 in conference play, 9-4-1 overall in the season. Then it's Juneau Douglas at 4-2. Kodiak, if we're going to call Palmer a surprise team, you really got to call Kodiak a surprise team. They are 2-2. Then it's Soldotna, 1-3, just one conference win. That was right before the break. Kenai, not a conference win yet. They're 0-3 in conference play, sitting in 6th place, followed by Homer, who is really struggling this year, 0-4 in conference play, 1-9 overall on the season. That is that's the slate of, or that's rather the standings for Northern Lights hockey. And here's where the Cardinals can make it up. Here's where they can start to turn things around and climb their way back into a state position. If we look at their conference schedule, they have Homer. That game is next Tuesday right here at the Kenai Multipurpose Facility at 7 p.m. Then they go on a road trip next weekend, a tough Valley road trip. They're going to have Palmer on the 16th. That's a week from tonight. They'll play Palmer in on Palmer's home ice at the MTA Event Center. Then they come back here and they have Soldotna in a conference game. That will be a very big one. Then a pair of Kodiak conference games, and those ones are on the road. Kodiak, traditionally a tough place to go to play any sport, really, down there on the Rock. And then they have a pair of conference games to round out play here before the state tournament would start in February. Those games at the end of January against Soldotna here at Kenai, and then Homer down at the Kevin Bell Arena at the end of the Spit. So that spate, as I said, of conference games for the Cardinals is going to be a huge factor for them in determining whether or not they're able to secure a spot in the state tournament. Those conference wins are obviously heavily weighted because seeding for state, the qualifying for state, the top 3 teams from the Aurora Conference and from the Northern Lights Conference get automatic bids. Then after that, it's a matter of at-large, and that's where we turn to the RPI. So any teams that are not already into the state tournament based on a automatic bid through conference play would then, they're out in terms of looking at the RPI, and whoever's left, the top 2 teams would be the at-large bids going into the state tournament. Kenai right now, they're going to have a hard time getting in on an automatic bid, just considering where the Juneau Douglas Crimson Bears are at, and Palmer and Houston, and especially that Juneau Douglas came here and took a couple games against the Cardinals early on. So you want those head-to-head matchups will have a play a factor when it comes to tiebreakers. So that's going to be a big thing for the Cardinals. We'll take a quick break while they're cleaning off the ice. We're going to probably see opening puck drop a little bit late here tonight. Original game time scheduled for 9 o'clock. We'll find out exactly when we can expect the opening face-off after a little bit here. We'll be right back with the rest of the Sweeney's pregame show on ESPN Radio.
Are you looking for a trusted healthcare provider for your whole family? Central Peninsula Family Practice and Pediatrics has you covered. From newborn checkups to senior care and everything in between, our friendly providers deliver person-centered care tailored to your needs. With 2 convenient locations in Kenai and Soldotna, we're here to help you stay healthy at every stage of life. Now accepting walk-ins and same-day appointments. Learn more at cpgh.org or call 907-714-4111 today.
Happy New Year, Kenai Peninsula. Yes, there's snow. Yes, it's cold. And yes, your driveway might be currently winning. But guess what? The snow will melt. And before you know it, spring will be knocking. Then it's boots off, ready to move. If you're thinking, maybe this is the year we sell, this is the perfect time to start planning. While everyone else is arguing with, nope, we help selling later.
New year, new light, new possibilities. From Admin Krause Real Estate at Jack White Real Estate. Happy New Year, and we'll help guide you home.
You own a business or have a commercial lot that needs winter maintenance services like snow plowing, sanding, or salting, Steam on Wheels is the company to call for all your commercial winter maintenance needs. Steam on If you have a commercial property that you need winter maintenance services done, call Steam on Wheels at 907-262-3240.
Attention all shoppers. Are you tired of navigating through the chaos of big box grocery stores? Country Foods in Kenai is locally owned and operated. Every time you purchase from Country Foods, you're putting money right back into this community. Country Foods is a full-service supermarket with great customer service, including a full-service meat department consistently going above and beyond to keep customers happy, and a wholesale food distribution center. Stop in and check out the deli or grab something hot on your lunch. Buy local, shop local. Country Foods in Kenai. Buy fresh, spend less.
In Soldotna can handle it. From chips and cracks to cleanings and crowns, they'll keep your smile in the game. They're local, friendly, and accepting new patients now. So skate on in or call 907-262-8834. Gentle Dental, keeping Alaskan smiles shining no matter how hard winter hits.
Welcome back to the Sweeney's pregame show. Nick Sorrell here, and we are talking high school hockey. Tonight's game featuring the Kenai Cardinals and the Bartlett Golden Bears. For those of you just tuning in, expecting hockey to already be underway with a 9 p.m. start time, well, the Peninsula Winter Games, as they are still known, although at this point they're just a youth hockey tournament, which is amazing. By the way, originally Peninsula Winter Games, a event that was organized in Soldotna. There was ice sculptures and a whole bunch of things. And KPHA came in and started this ice hockey tournament for B-level teams. And that, while the other things have fallen to the wayside, has continued on and grown mightily. This year, 27 youth hockey teams down here on the peninsula playing a total of 55 games between Thursday and Sunday. Championship games will be on Sunday for that. So youth hockey on the Kenai Peninsula thriving as ever. Really across the state, youth hockey is one of the strongest youth sports in the state, as you would think, in a frozen state like ours, which if you've been not living under a rock lately, it has been quite cold here in Alaska. Anyway, those of you joining us from anywhere in the world watching on YouTube, glad to have you along the way. Those joining us on the radio, listening at ESPN 1140 or 96.9 FM or worldwide at RadioKenai.com, especially those of you who are up in Anchorage and tuning in to watch your Bartlett Golden Bears. We're glad to have you on the broadcast as well. So the Cardinals come into this game with a 3-10-1 record overall on the season and 0-3 in conference play. That's going to make things difficult for them, as we were talking about before the break, with state looming just 4 weeks away. That tournament starting February 2nd in Palmer at the MTA Events Center. So Kenai are really going to need to start racking up some conference wins, especially here. But if nothing else, start climbing their way up the RPI ranks. Kenai is a team that has, I wouldn't say they've underperformed. I would say that they have just missed opportunities when they were right there in front of them. They have been right in the thick of virtually every single game they played this year. We talked about how good Palmer is doing, led by Xander Anderson, their senior defenseman and team captain, and Chase Ringler, one of their outstanding forwards. But that team almost lost to Kenai right to open the season here in Kenai. First game of the year for the Cardinals. They erased a 3-0 deficit in the third period, tied it with a minute to go, and then gave up a goal in 4-on-4 hockey. So we've seen Kenai skate with the best of any Division II team in Alaska. It's just been a matter of finding one another and learning who we are in the absence of players like Gavin Lyles, Logan Meese, and Avery Martin. with those players gone, who are we and how do we find each other? Hopefully they did some soul searching over the break and they were able to figure out a little bit more of that identity. We'd like to see some crisper passing this half of the season. We'd like to see finding one another in open space a little bit more than we did in that first half. I think if the Cardinals can start to execute and generate more scoring opportunities, you'll really see a turnaround for that team in this next 4 weeks. When we come back, we're going to give you your Genoir Towing and Recovery starting lineups right here on ESPN Radio.
Nissans, Hyundais, and Kias.
What about Amsterdam?
Do they even make cars?
Oh.
Look, no matter what side of the car the steering wheel's on, we got you covered. Dan's Automotive, serving the best customers in Alaska. Call 907-420-0416.
Want to experience college life in Alaska's playground?
KPC Res Hall is reopening spring 2026 and accepting applications now.
Looking to save money on your education?
Apply today and you could receive a $1,000 scholarship.
Wondering if you can still attend your current UA campus?
Absolutely. Live at KPC while taking classes at any University of Alaska campus.
Limited spots and scholarships available.
Don't wait. Visit kpc.alaska.edu to apply today or stop by KPC Student Services for walk-in tours.
Find your place at KPC's Res Hall.
Hey folks, White Spruce Trailer Sales here on the Kenai Peninsula wants to remind you to complete an annual service on your trailers. Don't want to do it yourself? Their K Beach Road location has a full-service shop and the parts to match. White Spruce Trailer Sales on K Beach Road can take care of everything, from bearing repacks to annual services, all the way up to bodywork, axle replacement, electrical, welding, and more. Go see White Spruce for all your trailer service and parts needs.
White Spruce.
To remove snow safely and efficiently, protecting your roof, your building, and your peace of mind. Don't wait until the damage is done. Call Dam Roofing and Construction today for reliable professional rooftop snow removal you can trust. 907-262-3996. That's 907-262-3996.
The Sweeney's Clothing pregame show continues on ESPN 1140 AM and 96.9 FM with today's starting lineups. Brought to you by Genoir Towing and Recovery.
Welcome back to the Sweeney's pregame show. Nick Sorrell here. Rinkside for the first game of the second half of the Division II hockey season for the Kenai Cardinals. Kenai looking to start the second half off in winning fashion against the Bartlett Golden Bears. Time now for your Genoir Towing and Recovery starting lineups. If you need a tow or help recovering a vehicle or heavy equipment, call Genoir Towing and Recovery at 907-394-6068. 907-394-6068 for Genoir Towing and Recovery, proud sponsor of starting lineups for all Peninsula sports this season. For the visiting Bartlett Golden Bears, we have a first line of junior forward number 2, Ayla Sanders, a sophomore who is leading the team right now in goals scored. That's Kaizen Postma. He wears the number 6. And let's see here, who else we got? A defenseman. Well, we got 2 listed as forwards here, and we'll see who the other one is. That's going to be Carson Lewis, the sophomore, wearing the number 26. He'll be one of the starting forwards for the Bears tonight. And your defenseman for Bartlett, number 12 senior Philip de Guzman, and number 17 junior Andy Rust. In the net tonight for Bartlett is a freshman wearing the number 1. That's Tristan Sanders. Turning it over for the Kenai Cardinals. Starting lineup tonight, your first line will be senior number 13 Will Howard, junior number 15 Bridger Begich, and junior number 16 Ryder Gagnon. Defenseman for Kenai this evening, number 12 senior Lily Langham, and senior number 14 Cameron Schwinn. The goaltender for the Cardinals this evening, back after dealing with a little bit of an injury before the break, but it seems strong and healthy, and he's back again tonight. He'll be in between the pipes. That is number 31, senior Evan Witt. The Cardinals are coached by Steve Hallam, and assistant coach is Ben Langham. The Bartlett Golden Bears head coach Mike Vandenbos. Assistant coaches George Kerr and Corey Jones. Bartlett coming in right now. They're in last place in the Cook Inlet Conference for Division I. 0-10 in conference play and 1-12 overall on the season. Their lone win coming against Delta Junction, and that was before they went into their break. So a bit of a rough stretch for Bartlett, but that doesn't mean that they're a team the Cardinals should overlook. This very well may be a test for Kenai tonight. Sometimes these Division I squads come down here and they're just as good as anybody else, and they'll play a tough game. They will have a unique challenge here at Kenai, as most visiting teams do. This Kenai multi-purpose facility ice rink, one of the smallest in the state. Interesting on the peninsula that we boast arguably the smallest rink in the state, right next to the biggest rink in the state. In fact, over at the Soldotna Regional Sports Complex, the ice rink over there, when it was constructed for the Arctic Winter Games and the inaugural game played between the United States men's team and the Russian men's team, that was, at the time, it was the largest rink in North America. So a little bit of history there for you. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with your opening puck drop. You're listening to High School Hockey and the Sweeney's pregame show on ESPN Radio.
Dan's Automotive has the best.
Amsterdam.
Do they even make cars?
Oh.
Look, no matter what side of the car the steering wheel's on, we got you covered. Dan's Automotive, serving the best customers in Alaska. Call 907-420-0416.
Want to experience college life in Alaska's playground?
KPC Res Hall is
your current UA campus?
absolutely. Live at KPC while taking classes at any University of Alaska campus.
Limited spots and scholarships available.
Don't wait. Visit kpc.alaska.edu to apply today, or stop by KPC Student Services for walk-in tours.
Find your place at KPC's Res Hall.
Welcome back to Kenai Multi-Purpose Facility. The Kenai Cardinals and Bartlett Golden Bears just about ready to get started. We were saying before the break that this game's starting late tonight because the Peninsula Winter Games Youth Hockey Tournament for B-Level put on by the Kenai Peninsula Hockey Association, the Ice Hawks. The earlier game pushed us about 15 minutes late, so here at 9:15 we're just a few moments away from opening puck drop. The Cardinals in their home white jerseys with the red and black trim, they'll be skating right to left for those of you listening on the radio. And for those of you listening, the Bartlett Golden Bears wearing their dark blue with the yellow numbers and trim, they'll be playing left to right. Cardinals like to help us out on the radio broadcasts. They put the names on the back of the jerseys. So if we have a hard time catching a number, they help us out because we get a good look at that name. Bartlett, however, no names on the back of the jerseys. So we'll be doing our best to try and just identify those players by the names. Speaking of the Golden Bears, their leading scorer right now, a sophomore, Kaizen Postma. He has 5 goals and 7 assists for a total of 12 points on the season. He's leading his team. Behind him would be another sophomore, and this sophomore, Carson Lewis, 4 goals, 3 assists, and for a total of 7 points. He will be a defenseman. He's listed as a forward on the roster, but he'll be a defenseman this evening. And then, of course, Nick Kunitz, a junior, he has 3 goals and 2 assists for a total of 5 points. Cardinals led in goal scoring by Will Howard. But keep an eye out for names like Bridger Begich and Ryder Gagnon. They've done a great job. And we've also talked this season how impressed we've been with some of the underclassmen for the Cardinals, care of ones like Caden Jurdy and Dominic Smith. We had a little bit of a delay here as we're waiting for the officials to get the nets put into place so that we can get that puck dropped and get this game underway. But it seems like we have to do a little bit of maintenance on the on at least one of the nets. The other one, they had a difficult time getting the post into the ice. You want to make sure you get that one anchored in there well so that the nets aren't coming off their moorings. Evan especially a big fan of launching himself off those posts, and frequently will kick those posts off the nets off the moorings, and has been penalized a time or two for it. But I don't think he cares too much about that. He's got his ways of doing stuff, and it seems to work out pretty well for him. He's been sensational in the last couple of years for Kenai, keeping them in games when things got dicey and rough. Looks like we're just about to get this one on the ice, and then they'll clear the players to come out and do their last warm-up. We'll take a quick break, and then we'll come right back for your opening puck drop. You're listening to High School Hockey on ESPN Radio.
Free dentistry and is family friendly. Even if you don't have time to have multiple appointments, Ridgeway Family Dentistry can complete all your treatment in one easy visit. At Ridgeway Family Dentistry, they know how important it is to have a smile and know how that can change your life. For your next dental appointment, call Ridgeway Family Dentistry at 262-8404.
Welcome back to Kenai Multipurpose Facility. Nick Sorrell ringside with you for the first game of the second half of the 2025-26 season for the Kenai Cardinals. Anybody joining us wherever you may be and however you may be tuning into this evening's broadcast, thank you so much for making ESPN Radio and KSRM Hockey part of your night. Cardinals again in white, skating right to left in the opening period, and the Bears in the blue with the yellow trim, skating left to right. Kenai, a quick huddle before we hit the ice. Here's Howard, Gagnon, Begich, Langham, and Schwinn on the ice. The opening face-off is going to be between Will Howard and Andy Rust, the center for the Bears tonight. Opening face-off won by Rust. Chased into his own end, though. Puck at the left wing, and the Cardinals will bat it back out to neutral ice. And Langham will bank it off the far wall and into the offensive end, picked up by Howard. He gets a shot, but it's knocked down by the defenseman, Carson Lewis. Here comes Rust, handing it off to Kaizen Postma, bringing it into the Kenai zone, going left to right, and there we go. A penalty already. This one's going to be, I believe, against the Cardinals. The officials here on the Kenai Peninsula have been quick on the trigger with the penalty calls, and we'll see if that is the case. So first penalty already out of the gate, and this one's going to be against Cameron Schwinn. He's going to get 2 minutes for roughing, 25 seconds into the game. Penalty at 25. So a man advantage for the Bartlett Golden Bears. Cardinals, though, win the faceoff and clear it out to the far end. Lewis will chase it down and toss it in behind his net, where it'll be picked up by the other defenseman, Philip de Guzman. Bats it ahead to Andy Rust. Rust left to right into the offensive end of the zone. Far circle, puck poked away. Scooped up by Ryder Gagnon. He can't quite. Now he does get it across the blue line. And it's loose. Cardinals clear it out. So with 30 seconds gone in the Bartlett power play, Here's Andy Rust up the near side, left to right into the offensive zone. Makes a move. He's going to challenge, goes between the legs, and batted at, and it's in. Evan Witt unable to get a mitt on that puck. And what a move by Andy Rust. Pulled up and tossed it through the crease from between his legs. And a power play goal puts Bartlett on the board to open the game. That goal at 1 minute and 9 seconds. We're going to give Rust the assist for sure. And I'll have to double check and see who was on the scoring end of that goal. Face-off after the goal, won by the Cardinals down in behind the Bartlett net. Dominic Smith chasing it down on the forecheck. Carson Lewis will clear it up the near side for Nick Kunitz. Puck goes wobbling into the Kenai end. Now here comes Smith, passes it ahead to Noah Hallam, right wing, he shoots, and that one rebounds into the near circle, scooped up by Rust, and he'll take it behind his own net and reset. 13 minutes and 17 seconds to play, 1-0 game in the first period. Cardinals trail on the Three Bears Alaska scoreboard. Cardinals trying to play aggressive offense, but as has been one of their bigger struggles this year, puck is in their end. They'll try and reset. Keeping 5 men on the ice. That has been arguably their biggest struggle. Puck on the Kenai red line, picked up by Noah Hallam. He'll hand it off to B-Platt, Quinton B-Platt. The freshman getting a little ice time early on. Up the far side, challenges Rust. And the Cardinals will bat it around at neutral ice. Mason Butler's going to chase one down into the flat board in the left end of the rink. B-Platt has the puck stripped away by Kunitz. Kunitz up the far side. He's got Rothermel. Matthew Rothermel, the sophomore forward, dumps it back at the left wing. Stabbed at by Carson Lewis. And now here come the Cardinals back the other way. Brett Goldsby pulling up the blue line. Takes a huge hit from Rust. Has his stick knocked away. As the Cardinals will bat this one back to neutral ice. And offsides called, as Carson Lewis did not get back quick enough before, that looks like number 8, but we don't have a number 8 on our roster. Back of the jersey, though, the only one with a name, so that's a blessing. That's Morton. Reese Morton. So he on the roster, he's 78. On the ice, he's just the number 8. Cardinals win the face-off at neutral ice. Cross-ice pass. Nice touch to Gagnon. Gagnon rips one from behind the blue line off the flat board. Chased down and picked up by Begich into the near corner in the left end. Cut off by Philip de Guzman, the senior defenseman. Squeezes it over into the far side, and the Bears will lose it at neutral ice, where Begich will get it right back. Brings it in outside the left circle. Drops it off for Howard. Wrist shot, but blocked up over the net by Sanders, the freshman netminder. Puck at the far end, back to Howard. He'll shoot that one wide right of the net, picked up by Begich behind the can. He'll dump it off for Howard. Howard looking for space, gets it into the crease, swipes at it, but it's swatted away by a defenseman, Ayla Sanders. This one over into the near wall. Snagged by Nick Kunitz, taken away at center ice. Here's Schwinn. Schwinn backhands one through the slot. He was looking for Ryder Gagnon, but Gagnon was nowhere near. And the Bears will knock this one all the way to the Kenai end. Kaizen Postma has it outside the far circle. Now into the far corner, takes a bump from behind by Will Howard. Postma rips a shot, but that's deflected off a stick into the near corner. Now Dominic Smith, right to left, up the near wall for Kenai. Puck poked away. Nice job by the defenseman Carson Lewis. And here's Hallam in his own end, has the puck taken away by Postma. Postma trying to get a shot off, but he's interfered with, or hooked rather. And another penalty against the Cardinals. This one's going to be at 4 minutes and 25 seconds. Their second of the game already. This one going against Noah Hallam. 2 minutes for a hook. That would have been a unimpeded look at the goal for Kaizen Postma. Cardinals down a man again. Another power play for the Bears. They scored just seconds into their last one. Cardinals winning the face-off to the left of Evan Witt and clearing the puck out. 10:25 remaining in the opening period. Cardinals trail 1-0, and they're down a man again. Here's Andy Rust. He was critical in that goal scored by Bartlett. They lose it back to neutral ice where Rust will grab it. He'll go to the far wall and bring it into the offensive zone. Down to the far circle, chips one up over the net. And against the near wall, tracked down at the right wing by de Guzman. Down to Rust, outside the near circle. Hands it off to de Guzman, into the circle. Surveying, down to the goal line, pass through the slot off the far wall. And this is going to be a 2-on-2. Cardinals pick up the puck, but getting in there quickly is Rust. He'll bring it into the offensive zone again. Squeezed off by the defensive wedge. Back out to de Guzman. Swings and misses on a shot, and it's knocked back out to neutral ice. Chased down by Carson Lewis. 1 minute to go in the power play. 9:30 left in the opening period. Here's Rust bringing it back into the offensive end. Backhands a pass into the slot, but it's swatted away by Isaac Potton, and the Cardinals will send fresh skates out on the penalty kill. 50 seconds remaining with the puck in the Bartlett end. Nice pass up the far side. There's Postma. Was the player that was interfered with. Gets a shot up, but that one's knocked aside by Witt. Here's another shot, that one left or right of the net. Karams around to the near side, and here comes Butler. Mason Butler into the offensive end and just cannot connect on the shot attempt. He had a wide open look and a good look at a wrist shot. Here come the Bears back the other way. Nick Kunitz through the high slot, and he is cut off by Brett Goldsby. And a whistle as the Bears are offside with 16 seconds remaining in their power play. 8:51 to go on the Three Bears Alaska scoreboard. A 1-0 lead for Bartlett in the opening period in Kenai. It'll be Mason Butler and Andy Rust on the dot in neutral ice at the far side. That one back to Morton. And now he will move it towards center ice. Finds Rust. Rust across the blue line. Works his way through the defense, but has the puck stripped away by Ryder Gagnon. Here comes B. Platt, Mason Butler, his shot blocked, kept in by Lily Langham at the blue line, but the Cardinals were retreating, so they miss a chance there. Puck back to neutral ice and bounces both teams back to full strength as the puck trickles down in behind the goal line. Nice pass through the low slot, a collision, and the Cardinals come away with it. Here's Schwinn, and they're going to get Goldsby, or rather Gagnon, for offside. Schwinn upset, and now we have a little extra pushing and shoving. Nick Kunitz and Cameron Schwinn getting into it, and they're separated by an official. Schwinn wanting a penalty call, and it looks like he's going to be the one with the unsportsmanlike conduct. We'll see if this turns. It's going to be another Kenai power play, or rather Bartlett power play. This one at 6 minutes and 49 seconds. And you can hear them barking at Cameron to get off the ice. Hit with the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty after he tried to initiate a little conflict with the forward, the center for, or rather the left wing for Bartlett, Nick Kunitz. So Kenai down a man once again. We said that's been their biggest struggle this season, and here we are back at it. Old habits, not good ones. Puck is a shot on goal, knocked down and covered up by Witt. Carson Lewis rips one from the right wing. Exactly 8 minutes remaining in the opening period. Kenai just struggling to play with equal personnel out on the rink. Face off to the left of Witt, won by the Cardinals. Here's Goldsby. He'll fire one and clear it out. Rather, that was Gagnon. Chased down by Will Howard, though. Tosses it, turns around, gets a shot, but it's wide of the net. Will Howard willing his team to stay in this game, playing a man down. Here come the Bears back the other way. Rothermel up the near side. He's leveled, has the puck taken away. Howard at neutral ice, gets it to Gagnon. Gagnon fires one up off the glass, and Kenai will just back it out and stay at neutral ice. Let Ryder Gagnon go in there on a little forecheck and kill a few extra seconds of penalty. 1:05 remaining in the Bartlett power play. Carson Lewis having a hard time digging it out of his own corner all by himself. Now here we go up the far side. Ayla Sanders gets a touch on it. Now back to Rothermel. Rothermel has it stripped away. Now it's Postma into the high slot in the left end. Loses the puck to the wedge. And it's batted back out the other way. 6:50 remaining in the opening period. Cardinals on the penalty kill for the third time this frame. Here comes de Guzman. He'll wrap it around to the far side in the right end. And that one sneaks under the stick of Postma. Just barely kept in at the left wing for a moment before Langham clears it out. 20 seconds remaining. So the Bears, at least in this early period, they've got the talent. And here's a takeaway. Potton, he's got a breakaway, makes a move. He can't connect on the shot. Oh, it was a beautiful look. Nice pass from Hallam. A shot from Potton is blocked down by Sanders. There's another shot, that one wide of the net. Both teams back to full strength, and the Cardinals with their foot on the gas. But the Bears bat it back out to neutral ice. Lily Langham trying to pick a pocket, but here's Rust bringing it into the offensive end in the right side. Hands it off to Postma. Postma on the goal line. He'll cycle down behind the net into the far corner. Centers a pass, but that's blocked away by Potton, and he'll punch it out to neutral ice. Dominic Smith trying to squeeze through a wedge, but the Bears will just send it lazily back to the Kenai end. Puck picked up by Carson Lewis, but Rust was still offside, so he has to retreat and tag up. Cardinals have it in their own defensive end. Puck up the far wall to Gagnon. Gagnon will go right to left. Takes it into the offensive end, pulls up, makes a move, misses on a backhand shot, and boy, we have seen a lot of that already in this game. Just missed whiffs. Here comes Postma back the other way, splits the wedge, makes a move, and misses a chip shot into the top shelf. Cardinals answering back with a 3-on-1. Here's Howard, rips a slap or a wrist shot, but that one's knocked down by Morton. Howard has it, feeds it into the far circle, and it squirts out to neutral ice. Picked up there by Tanner Gregory. Taken away by Postma. Left to right into the Cardinals zone. Shot kicked away by Witt. Gagnon gets a stick on it. Now Kunitz got tangled up earlier. Here's a breakout pass. Will Howard all alone. He shoots, but Tristan Sanders kicks it away. And here comes Rust and the Bears back the other way. Punch, counter punch, punch, counter punch. Both of these teams giving it what they got. Here's Howard again, right to left. In the right circle, fires a shot. That one's deflected wide of the net. Picked up by Rothermel up the near side. He runs into a Kenai player. We don't know who that one is, but he's fresh onto the ice wearing the number 8. Puck at neutral ice. Postma with it. Begich strips it away, finds Butler. Butler and Gagnon's all alone in the low slot, but that puck knocked away by Rust and cleared out. And a delayed penalty is going to give the Cardinals a 6-on-5 advantage. Here's B-Platt. B-Platt in his own end, centers it, finds Mason Butler, and Butler just backhands it into the offensive end. Probably should have taken it in himself there. This is going to be a cross-check against Nick Kunitz. So the Cardinals now finally a chance for a power play. Penalty coming at 11 minutes and 17 seconds. A cross-check against Nick Kunitz, and Kenai will have their first man advantage of the evening. They've been down a man 3 times already this period. 3:43 remaining in the first frame. Mason Butler will face off to the right of Tristan Sanders. Centering pass goes right to Langham. She'll shoot. That one pops out of the catching glove. Tanner Gregory keeping it into the point. Surveying over to the far corner, down to Langham, outside the right circle, another shot. That one deflected off of a defenseman over to the near side, picked up by Postma. He's got Kunitz. Rust is the one in the box. I thought it was going to be Kunitz, and now we get a whistle for offsides. And that was, you could hear the coaching staff for Bartlett shouting at Postma to give Kunitz the puck. He was all alone. It would have been a breakaway had he received the pass. Face off at neutral ice, opposite where we are, up behind the scoring box. With 3:24 to play, a minute 41 on the Cardinals power play. Noah Hallam loses the draw, goes to Philip de Guzman. Now back to the Cardinals, finds Howard. Howard up the near wall, into offensive ice, puck poked away, picked up by Isaac Potton, makes a move, but he goes down, trips over his own. Nope, it's a trip coming. Cardinals, another delayed penalty, a 6-on-4. Slap shot, kicked away by Sanders. Pass down low, there's another shot. That one goes wide, and it's picked up behind the net by Potton and taken away by Kunitz. And this one is going to make it a 5-on-3 for Kenai after the trip of Isaac Potton. That's going to be Kaizen Postma. Penalty at 12 minutes and 4 seconds. We've got Isaac Potton, Will Howard, Noah Hallam, Lily Langham, and Ryder Gagnon out there for Kenai right now. Face off to the left of Sanders, won by the Bears, and Carson Lewis clears it all the way down to the other end. Cardinals have 1 minute and 4 seconds of 5-on-3. Hallam handles it at neutral ice, hands it off to Potton. Potton will bring it across the blue line, into the left circle, hands it off to Gagnon. He fires a shot high off the glass, and it goes up and out of play. Kenai itching to level this game. They trail by a goal, 1-0. That was a power play goal. Scored a minute and 10 seconds into the opening period by Bartlett. Face-off coming to the right of the freshman Sanders. It'll be Howard and to Guzman. Face-off to Howard. Now Langham. Cross ice, Gagnon outside the circle. Shot kicked away by Sanders. He's earning his cookies tonight. Here's Gagnon down low, looking for Hallam. Back to Gagnon in the circle. A shot is deflected down by the defenseman. Everybody taking a stab at it. Hallam gets tied up, goes down. Gagnon has it at the blue line. He shoots. That one knocked away. And we have a slash coming. This is going to be a penalty, I believe, against Hallam. Cardinals with an advantage and now trying to give it away. Second penalty of the period for Noah Hallam with 27 seconds remaining in the 5-on-3. So now it'll be 4-on-3. Penalty at 12 minutes and 49 seconds. A slash against Hallam. 2 penalties against Noah, 2 penalties against Cameron Schwinn. And the Cardinals cannot stay out of the penalty box. Face off to the left of Witt in the 4-on-3, won by, well, nobody really. It's a loose puck to Guzman, just goes and swipes at it. Just 3 men on the ice for the Bears for 15 more seconds. Centering pass at neutral ice. A hit against Potton. Now he's got it at the top of the slot. 5 seconds left in the 4-on-3. Tosses one down low for Gagnon. He's got it, and now back to 4-on-4 as the puck comes loose, and Rust snags it right out of the box. Looking ahead for Ayla Sanders, but Sanders not looking for Rust. And the Cardinals are going to take this one away. Lewis will keep it in at the right wing, 4-on-4 for another 30 seconds, and then it'll be a power play for the Bears. Their 4th of the period. Ryder Gagnon rips a wrist shot from behind the blue line, and that one's kicked away by the freshman Tristan Sanders, who has been sensational in this opening frame. A minute 18 to play. Cardinals trailing 1-0. We've had 6 penalties in this frame alone. Right now, Noah Hallam and Kaizen Postma serving time in the Hoosgow. Hallam for a slash. Postma for a trip. Cardinals have the puck taken away by Rust. 1-on-1 against Lily Langham. And she pokes it away. Centering pass from the flat board taken away by Mason Butler. He takes it across the blue line, but a shot knocked away by Morton. And now the Bears back to full strength for 40 seconds. Here's Rust across the blue line into the right end. He shoots, and it's gobbled up by Evan Witt. Another save for Witt, who was getting a little lonely over there for the last few minutes, which is something he's a little unfamiliar with this season. He's typically been pretty busy. 45 seconds remaining in the opening period, 35 seconds in the Bears power play. They win the faceoff. Morton fires a shot, and that one deflects and goes into the net. No high stick call. That one deflected off the stick of Reese Morton. And it looked like he may have gotten that stick up pretty high to deflect that one down. And actually, looks like it may have gone off of Lily Langham. So they will credit Reese with the goal at 14 minutes and 22 seconds. Rust is going to get the assist. So that's 2 power play goals, and it's a 2-0 lead for the Bears. Off the ensuing faceoff, Rust wins the draw. Puck taken away, though, by Will Howard. They'll try and push it into the offensive end, but he's cut off by Morton, who just is fresh off a goal. Now 15 seconds remaining in the period. Cardinals keeping it in the offensive end, 10 seconds to go. Postma with it. Pumps it up the far wall, but it goes past everybody. Lily Langham with it, 3 seconds remaining. Postma takes it away, fires a shot at the buzzer, in and out of the glove of Evan Witt. And after 1 period of play, the Cardinals have some old demons haunting them from the first half of the season, that being the penalty box, where they spent 8 minutes in the first period, and they give up 2 power play goals. Coming up after the break here, it's the intermission report brought to you by State Farm agent Christy Babcock. We'll be back with that first intermission on ESPN Radio.
Residential properties. They're licensed, bonded, and insured, and they have all the proper safety equipment and expertise to remove snow safely and efficiently, protecting your roof, your building, and your peace of mind. Don't wait until the damage is done. Call Dam Roofing and Construction today for reliable, professional rooftop snow removal you can trust. 907-262-3996. That's 907-262-3996.
What did you have for shots on goal?
Like playing instruments, tying a knot in a
16
balloon.
Received. And how about for Witt?
Wait, what? Life insurance can feel tricky too. But at State Farm, we can help make it easier to understand so you can protect your family's future.
Okay.
Your local agent can help you look at your options and choose the coverage you need to protect the people you love.
Hi, this is Christy Babcock, your local State Farm agent, still in Kenai, and now also at the Soldotna Y.
Hey guys, Valentine's Day is approaching fast. If your family is complete and you have been considering a vasectomy, nothing says I love you like, honey, I've got this. Dr. Alvarez has been performing no needle, no scalpel vasectomies for over 20 years. This minimally invasive procedure. Gift, peace of mind. Our price is less than many insurance deductibles. To schedule or check your plan, call 235-1010. Best gift ever.
The high school hockey intermission continues with the State Farm agent Christy Babcock intermission report. With highlights, stats, and game recaps, let's return ringside with today's broadcast team on ESPN 1140 AM and 96.9 FM.
Welcome back to Kenai Multi-Purpose Facility. It is the intermission report brought to you by State Farm agent Christy Babcock. Auto insurance, homeowners, life insurance, and investing opportunities. Call today, 907-283-7116 in Kenai and 907-262-4440 in Soldotna. Like a good neighbor, Christy and her team are there for you. Well, it was an ugly first period if you're following the Kenai Cardinals. If you're following the Golden Bears of Bartlett, a slightly less ugly opening period, but still a lot of missed opportunities for both teams. A little sloppy skating. It looks like two teams that are just coming back from a break over Christmas. Maybe a little too much ham, a little too much turkey, still digesting maybe, getting that all out of our system. Well, I'll tell you one thing the Cardinals need to get out of their system. It's committing penalties. Stop committing penalties. It's hard to win games when you're playing down a man. And the Cardinals spent 8 of 15 minutes that period down a man, and they give up 2 power play goals. We got to solve this problem. We got to stop giving up penalties. And I will admit that, yes, the referees here on the peninsula do tend to be a little bit more quick on the trigger with penalty calls. Nevertheless, we just got to stay out of the penalty box. When we're in the brig, we got guys that are out there, and they're hanging out to dry. Evan Witt doing his best, but when you're down a man again, that is what it is. Cardinals did have one-man advantage in the opening period. They committed 4 penalties. They briefly had a 5-on-3, but again, that was spoiled by, yeah, you guessed it, it was another penalty. So penalties in that period for the Cardinals: a roughing call 25 seconds into the game against Cameron Schwinn, then a hook against Noah Hallam at 4:25, an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against Schwinn at 6:49, and a slash against Hallam at 12:49. That slash coming just the worst time because that was right in the middle of that Cardinals 5-on-3. But kudos to the freshman goaltender for Bartlett, Tristan Sanders, who had a great opening first period. Cardinals couldn't get past his brick wall. We'll see what they figure out in the locker room in the meantime. But your score after 1 period of play, Bartlett on top, 2-0. Kenai going to need to find a way to break through in the second period. Speaking of your shots and saves, here's your first period shots and saves brought to you by 3T Detail, your defense against a dirty vehicle. Find them on Facebook, 907-252-3960. In the first period, Evan Witt, 10 saves on 12 Bartlett shots. And the freshman on the other end right now winning the battle between the pipes, Tristan Sanders, 16 saves on 16 Kenai shots. He took the opening salvo well. Cardinals, however, have shown that they can skate well and they can create opportunities. Again, we're beating a dead horse at this point, but you got to stay out of the penalty box. We'll see if they can do that in the second period. That's your intermission report brought to you by State Farm agent Christy Babcock. It is cold in Kenai. We're going to go warm up. We'll be back with your second period action right here on ESPN Radio.
If you've been involved in an accident or had a catastrophic injury, negotiating with insurance companies on your own is fraught. Insurance companies want to maximize their profits, and that means minimizing a fair and just... Insurance negotiators and adjusters will try to minimize your claim at every turn. It's important to have an attorney to get the recovery that you deserve. At Earhart, Elsner & Cooley, we can help you get that fair and true value.
Hello, I'm Marty Hansen, owner and manager of Eyewear Express. Have you ever bought new glasses for your little darling and they're lost or twisted into a figure 8 before you even get home or take that first picture? Well, if you got them at Eyewear Express, we'll replace the frame for free. Let me say that again. If they lose or break the frame, we'll replace it for free. So relax and expect the best from Eyewear Express in the Peninsula Center Mall, Soldotna, 260-9199.
Hi, this is Justin Ruffridge. There's nothing like a small town. It's real community, and that's one of the reasons I'm raising my family here. It's also why I own and operate Soldotna Professional Pharmacy, because I believe a small town pharmacy is where people get the best care. Our customers aren't just customers, you're our friends and neighbors. Stop by at 299 North Binkley in Soldotna for hometown friendly service. I'm Justin Ruffridge, and I'm here to serve you.
Hey neighbors, good news from Odyssey Family Practice. Megan Stanley is now here full-time and accepting new patients. She's passionate about preventative care and women's health. At Odyssey, healthcare is personal. Your provider knows you, listens, and treats you like more than just a number. That's Megan. Call 907-313-4569 to get on her schedule today. That's 313-4569. Odyssey Family Practice.
And this healthcare for your journey.
For years, Morgan Steel has proudly supported local sports, vocational programs, and community activities because a strong community starts with strong support. They're cheering on all our local teams and athletes this season. Good luck out there. For all your steel and metal needs, Morgan Steel has you covered with a full range of products and expert service. Plus, their partnership with Central Welding supplies ensures top quality materials you can trust. Call 907-283-7136. Morgan Steel, building Alaska strong.
Looking for the ultimate birthday party spot? Come to Jumpin' Junction on K Beach Road, the family fun zone. Bounce wild in their bounce houses, glow through the blacklight mini golf, hit up the arcade and the VR games, and chow down at the snack bar. They make birthdays easy. You bring the kids, they bring the fun. Check out their party packages and book now at jumpinjunctionak.com. Unwrap the fun only at Jumpin' Junction on K Beach Road, 907-420-0566. Jumpin' Junction, where there's fun for the whole family.
Picture this, a number in your hand, hope fading by the minute. A voice crackles through the overhead speaker.
Now serving B47 and window 11.
Oh, that's my number. Wait, is that window even open? No.
You've entered the DMV, a place where time stands still and paperwork spreads like a creeping fall. Now picture yourself at AK Express tags, titles, and registrations in Soldotna. No lines, no disappearing windows, just fast, local service AK Express.
Say goodbye to 2025 and roll into 2026 with savings at Alaska Bolt & Chain. For a limited time, enjoy 25% off select lobby items as they celebrate the new year. It's the perfect excuse to stop in, look around, and kick off the year with a great deal. Don't miss out. These savings won't last forever. Visit Alaska Bolt & Chain at 36314 Kenai Spur Highway in Soldotna, 907-262-7983.
January savings are here at Sweeney's Clothing in Soldotna. Save 20% off all shoes and boots excluding clearance. Bundle up with Chaco outerwear, 30% off jackets, bibs, snow pants, and snowsuits for the whole family. Stock up on socks, 20% off. Dovetail, 20% off. And Ariat men's and women's jackets, 20% off excluding flame resistant. And celebrate Grundon's 100 years with 20% off sweatshirts. Don't miss huge January savings at Sweeney's Clothing in Soldotna, your workwear and outerwear headquarters for the whole family. Officers at Beeman's talking with Steve off supplies and tax forms. You can find all that right here at Beeman's.
Matt, we stock a good selection of basic legal forms. We also have W-2s and the 1099 NECs and 1096s and W-3s and all those other numbers. We have ledgers and budget books. We have columnar pads, calculator ribbons, invoice pads, copy paper, and desk and office wall calendars.
You'll find it all inside Beeman's, located on the Kenai Spur Highway in Soldotna.
Winter in Alaska, where hockey pucks fly faster than your truck warms up. If one of those pucks, or maybe an icy driveway, takes out a tooth, don't worry. Gentle Dental in Soldotna can handle it. From chips and cracks to cleanings and crowns, they'll keep your smile in the game. They're local, friendly, and accepting new patients now. So skate on in or call 907-262-8834. Gentle Dental, keeping Alaskan smiles shining no matter how hard winter hits.
Don't settle for partial care. At Central Peninsula Hospital, you get access to 3 specialty clinics: the Bone and Joint Center, Kenai Spine and Pain, and Foot and Ankle Specialists. From sprains to spine surgery, our team offers imaging, therapy, and surgery without leaving the Kenai. No travel, no outsourcing, just complete care, close to home. Visit cpgh.org/orthopedics or call 907-714-4404.
New year, new goals, new possibilities. If 2026 has you thinking about a new home, or even just wondering what your current home could sell for this spring, now is the perfect time to start the conversation. At Ashman Krause Real Estate, we're helping homeowners take a fresh look at where they are and where they want to go. No pressure, no rush, just honest guidance, local expertise, and a clear plan. Let's talk now so you are prepared for this spring. Happy New Year from Ashman Krause Real Estate at Jack White Real Estate. We'd be honored to help guide you home.
Steam on Wheels is now doing winterland clearing projects and septic system installations. If you have a piece of property that needs to be cleared for your future home or for a business opportunity, call Steam on Wheels today. They work all winter long. Land clearing, septic installations and repairs, commercial snow removal, septic camera inspections, and more. 907-262-3240. Why wait till summer? Have it done now and start building. Steam on Wheels does winter land clearing, septic installations, and more. 907-262-3240.
Dan's Automotive has the best customers in the world.
What about Asia?
We love Asia. We work on Toyotas, Hondas, Nissans, Hyundais, and Kias.
What about Amsterdam?
Do they even make cars?
Oh,
No matter what side of the car the steering wheel's on, we got you covered. Dan's Automotive, serving the best customers in Alaska. Call 907-420-0416.
Want to experience college life in Alaska's playground? Money on your education?
Apply today and you could receive a $1,000 scholarship.
Wondering if you can still attend your current UA campus?
Absolutely. Live at KPC while taking classes at any University of Alaska campus.
Limited spots and scholarships available.
Don't wait. Visit kpc.alaska.edu to apply today or stop by KPC Student Services for walk-in tours.
Find your place at KPC's Res Hall.
Welcome back to Kenai Multi-Purpose Facility. Second period of hockey getting underway shortly. 15 minutes on the clock and a 2-0 score favoring the visiting Bartlett Golden Bears. Nick Sorrell here with you ringside, along with Josh Fields, our broadcast producer, back in our K-Beach studio for those of you tuning in on the radio and those of you watching worldwide on YouTube on Peninsula Live. Keith Crawford operating the camera. Well, the Cardinals bit by the penalty bug in that first period, committing 4 penalties. Going to have to bounce back from that. Got to just take some licks and then play from behind. Cardinals have done that a lot this season, playing from behind. But, you know, they have battled back, notably at the beginning of the season, a big come-from-behind win, or rather to tie the game late against Palmer. We talked about that in the pregame show. And also a come-from-behind win against the Division I Eagle River Wolves, a team that has handled this Bartlett Bears team pretty well. So Kenai has the talent, they have the skates, they got the shots, and they got the pedigree to play quality hockey. We just got to keep 5 guys on the ice. Opening face-off of the second period brought to you by Florever, your hometown flooring professionals, located off East Poppy on K-Beach Road. Call 907-260-9270 for Florever. We'll switch sides of the rink. The Golden Bears will skate right to left in their blue jerseys with the yellow trim. The Cardinals in their home whites will skate left to right. Will Howard on the draw for the Cardinals. Andy Rust with 2 assists in the opening period. On the draw for the Bears, Cardinals coming away with the puck. Langham chipping it ahead. That one cut off and picked up by Rust across the blue line into the high slot. Shot is deflected down by Lily Langham. Pass taken away in the defensive end. That's a shot over the top of the net by Postma. Karam's up to the left wing, and he can't keep it in there. Postma had de Guzman right there to gather that puck, and he kind of cut right in front of him to hang on to it. Puck wraps around to the far side. De Guzman trying to steal it away. Now it's going to go to Lewis at the right wing. He loses it. Now keeps it in. Surveys along the blue line. Will Howard sweeping in and snagging it away. Ryder Gagnon feeds it ahead. Howard left to right. Bad touch, and it's taken away by Rust. He can skate very well. Here he goes right to left into the offensive zone. Shot high over the net. And it caroms all the way over to neutral ice up the far wall. Carson Lewis spins around. Giveaway to Will Howard. Has to hold up for a second as there was an offside, potentially loses it. Now it's in the slot, and Ayla Sanders gives it up. Here's Bridger Begich. Pass, shot, and that one knocked down. Turnaround for Howard. No, that was Gagnon, and now a takeaway. Rust, right to left he goes. He'll shoot, and he goes over the left shoulder of Evan Witt, and Andy Rust makes it a 3-0 game for the Golden Bears. Rust taking that one nearly coast to coast, and it's 3-0, a minute and 27 seconds into the second period. Rust scores the first non-power play goal for Bartlett. Here's Noah Hallam in the second line on for the Cardinals. De Guzman with the draw, gathers the face-off. Pumps it down low and into the Kenai end. Lewis, a shot from the right wing, knocked down and away by Witt. Cardinals cleared out, a penalty coming. It's going to be icing against the Cardinals, but I believe the penalty coming against Bartlett. Yeah, Rust with his second penalty of the game. Called for a hook at a minute 46 seconds. And Kenai with the man advantage here could really use it. Desperately needing a goal to kind of stem the bleeding. Face off to the left of Sanders, won by the Cardinals. Gagnon fires one, but that caroms off several sticks as it makes its way into the far corner through the slot. There's Hallam with it into the left circle. Cross-ice pass over leads Gagnon. That one off the wall along the goal line and then covered up in the crease by Sanders. 12:58 to go in the second period. A 3-0 score on the Three Bears Alaska scoreboard. Bartlett leading the Kenai Cardinals on Kenai's ice. Howard and Postma on the faceoff to the left of Witt. Howard comes away with that one. He's got to look right in front of the net, but puck is tapped over. Now he gathers it again. Finds Gagnon in the near circle. Gagnon will shoot, and he sneaks one through. Ryder Gagnon puts the Cardinals on the board. Will Howard with the assist, and it's a 3-1 game. Power play goal at 2 minutes and 22 seconds. Kenai's first of the game. Gagnon the goal and Will Howard with the assist. Howard doing a nice job to chase down his own puck out of the face-off. Circled it all the way up to the blue line. And because he's just such a great skater and a great shooter, Gagnon was left all alone. Here's a quick shot. That was Russ trying to make it a 3-goal game right off the whistle. Another shot, this one high over the net from Morton. And over to the right wing, kept in there by Nick Kunitz. His shot cut off by the defense in the slot, and the Cardinals will ice it with 12:25 to play in the second period. So Kenai finally getting a man advantage themselves, and they don't spoil it. Ryder Gagnon with the goal. Face-off will be, they're going to do it at center ice. Interesting, after it looked like it was an icing call, so I'm not sure if they changed that. Hallam and Rust winning the puck, and he'll get a pass, cross ice, looking for Postma. That one taken away by Mason Butler. One man to beat. It's Morton to break away for Butler. Backhanded shot. It's off the outside of the net. Kept in. There's another shot. That one from the blue line. And the puck is loose and up the farboard side. Witt coming way out of the goal. And it's loose in the crease as Witt was not back yet. Gave everybody a heart attack. Now he kicks a shot away. Picked up by Postma, and a penalty coming. This is going to be against Rust again. And now he's hit with a second. An unsportsmanlike conduct as he chirps after the call. That was a quick trigger with the unsportsmanlike. So he's called for a cross check down in the near corner. Penalty at 3 minutes and 15 seconds into the second period. And we'll see. I don't know if they're going to stack those two penalties and make it a 4-minute power play. But we'll see if we can't get a clear indication from the officials. But at least one penalty coming against Andy Rust, who is definitively the guy Bartlett does not want off the ice. He's been kind of their spark the whole game. So they're going to send, I think, another Bartlett player into the box to serve time for the unsportsmanlike conduct. Both of these are going to be at 3:15. And that penalty will be served by Nick Kunitz. So both of those penalties coming against Andy Rust, but one will be served by Kunitz, and the Cardinals now with a great chance with a 5-on-3 for 2 minutes. Gagnon wins the draw. Here's a cross-ice pass in the right end to Potton, and it's cleared out by Morton. Witt will get it on his goal line, feeds it all the way up to Hallam on the far wall. Hallam will retreat into his own end, loses an edge. Langham backhands it far side for Ryder Gagnon. He'll advance it into the offensive zone. Hands it off to Hallam. Hallam into the circle, and that one swatted away. Bad touch. And already 40 seconds of the 5-on-3 gone, and the Cardinals have spent less than half that time with the puck in the offensive end. Here comes Gagnon. He'll bring it in, turns around, shoots, and a glove save. A quick hand from Tristan Sanders, who had 16 saves on 16 shots in the opening period, was beat once here in the second on a power play. Now he's got his work cut out for him. 1:05 left in the 5-on-3. 10:50 to go in the second period. Howard on the face-off. Cardinals control the puck. Cross ice, Gagnon at the right wing. Surveying, now into the far circle. Howard, wrist shot and a goal! Will Howard makes it a 3-2 game. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Will Howard assisting on the goal for Ryder Gagnon earlier, and Gagnon returning the favor now, assisting on the goal for Will Howard at 4 minutes and 20 seconds into the second period. The Cardinals now still with 55 seconds of power play. So a chance now to equalize in the second period. Face-off won by Will Howard, makes his way around Carson Lewis and into the near corner in the right end. Cut off by Russ down underneath the net. And the puck behind the goal line, and the Golden Bears will clear it out. Witt will take it along his goal line. 10:20 to play, 35 seconds left in the Cardinals' power play. Gagnon and Lily Langham miscommunicate and get tied up in their own end. Now here comes Gagnon on the assist. He'll fire a shot from the red line. That one was in and out of the glove, dropped by Sanders down to his own player. There's another shot. That one goes off the stem of the stick of Sanders. Now into the near corner, wrapped over here, picked up by Gagnon. A battle for it. Langham will whistle one wide of the net from the right wing. 3 seconds to go in the power play. Here's Potton into the mid slot, turnaround. Both teams back to full strength. Gagnon, cross ice pass, looking for Hallam at the left wing. Cardinals are going to set up there. Hallam from the point, feeding it down low, looking for Potton. Potton can't quite get it. Now he's got it high slot, and it goes off his skate out to neutral ice. Cardinals, a missed opportunity. So it's 3-2 on the Three Bears Alaska scoreboard with 9:15 to play in the second period. Puck is in the Cardinals' defensive end. Isaac Potton makes two players miss, and that creates a 3-on-2 opportunity. And now offsides called, as Dominic Smith had a hard time controlling the puck. Face-off will be on the dot closest to us. We're up behind the scoreboard, or score box rather, not behind the scoreboard. That would be way too high. Noah Hallam will face off against the senior Andy Rust. Tanner Gregory getting some ice time. Cardinals have cut the deficit from 3 back to 2. Puck into the Bartlett end. Smith and Morton battling for it. Cardinals wrap it around to the far board side. Chased down there by a defenseman and ends up on net. Swatted away by Sanders. Backhand shot from Hallam off the outside of the can. He'll chase it down. Centers a pass looking for Smith. Back to Hallam, and he tosses it to an empty wing. Tanner Gregory will chase it down in his own end. 8 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the second period. It's a 3-2 lead for Bartlett. Pass off the far wall to Mason Butler. Hands it off to Hallam. Hallam across the blue line looking for Smith in the slot, but that one poked away by a defenseman, and here comes Rust. He can really move. He's behind the defense up the near side, makes his way along the goal line, wraps it around, hands it off. Looking for Rothamel. Now we're tied up. Puck is uncontrolled. Cardinals, a shot. That one kicked away by Witt into the far corner. A big hit from de Guzman on Howard, but he pops right back up as the puck squirts out to neutral ice. 7:50 to play. A 3-2 lead for Bartlett. Cardinals trailed 3-0. They scored 2 power play goals. Here's Rust with a shot attempt as he brings it into the offensive end, weaving through traffic. And a nice save by Evan Witt, dropping down into the butterfly. So 7:42 remaining in the second period. It's a Bartlett Bears lead on the road as the temperature continues to drop precipitously, it would feel, here at the Kenai Multi-Purpose Facility. Face off to the left of Witt, won by Rust. A quick shot cut off by Langham. Feeding it off the near wall, looking for Gagnon. Rothermel has it taken away. Gagnon, another shot, that one underneath the arm of Sanders, but he doesn't let it through. And the freshman, another great save. 7:29 now to play in the second period. Things got a little bit chippy at a couple different points in the first period, now in the second, but appears to have calmed down a little bit. Howard and Rust on the face-off. Langham from the right wing will fire one, but that ricochets off some skates and sticks and over to the far wall, where Rust will overskate it. Cardinals control it. Gagnon hands it off to Begic. Begic into the far corner. Harassed from behind by Carson Lewis. Feeds it along the flat board into the near corner, where it'll be picked up by Postma. He'll move it up the near board side and across the blue line. Langham, though, chases it down. 7 minutes to play. Kenai trailing by 1 in the second period. Here comes de Guzman. Right to left across the blue line. Down behind the net. Looking for a wraparound. Backhand puck spins through the crease. Langham chips it away. And Howard takes a feed. Makes a move. He goes left to right. Into the circle. He shoots. Knocked down. Another shot off the rebound by Gagnon, who is interfered with and nobody saw it. But Rust just pulled his stick out of his hand. Here comes de Guzman up the far wall. Right to left. Shot kicked away. Rust is there to try and clean it up on the rebound, but the Cardinals get in the way, and they will counterpunch left to right. Comes Mason Butler across the blue line. Shoots, and he scores in off the post! Mason Butler ties the game with 6:10 remaining in the second period. Mason Butler with the bank shot, and it's 3-all in the second period. That goal coming at 8 minutes and 50 seconds. Butler with the goal. Will Howard the assist. Howard now with 3 points already in the game, 2 assists and a goal. The ensuing face-off will be Noah Hallam and Kaizen Postma. Face-off won by the Cardinals. Dominic Smith makes a move but goes down behind the net in the right end, pushed off the puck by Lewis. And now Kunitz will bring it out to neutral ice, but the Cardinals regain control, and now they ice it, trying to feed it ahead to Smith at center ice. So 5:49 to play in the second period. Kenai trailed 3-0. I don't know what it is about 3-0, but Kenai just seems to take that number very personally, and that's when they start to get the transformer power activated or something. Yeah, like, oh man, we're down by 3. It's getting real now. We'll figure it out. So they have, and they've tied it up. 5:49, and I say that because we've seen Kenai, especially on this rink, coming back from 3-0 deficits more than just about any other deficit. Face off to the left of Witt in the left end. Postma and Gagnon. Gagnon winning the face-off. Pass ahead to Howard. He'll advance it into the right end. Tries to feed one through the slot, looking for Begic. Begic, though, has to chase it into the near corner. There's a shot from Gagnon, a rebound. Puck is still loose. Gagnon, a shot on an open net, and Kenai has a lead. That puck went to Ryder Gagnon, who was perfectly placed in the near circle, and he had real estate for days. And by real estate, of course, we mean open net. So Kenai now leading 4-0 in the second period. Goal coming at 9 minutes and 31 seconds. And a timeout called by Bartlett, who is reeling, giving up 4 goals in about 7 minutes of play. We'll take a break. Back in a minute right here on ESPN Radio.
Do you own a business or have a commercial lot that needs winter maintenance services like snow plowing, snow removal, sanding, or salting? Steam on Wheels is the company to call for all your commercial winter maintenance needs. Steam on Wheels provides 24-hour-a-day, 7 days a week winter monitoring of your site to ensure your site is safe and maintained when you need it. If you have a commercial property that you need winter maintenance services done, call Steam on Wheels at 907-262-3240.
Dan's Automotive has the best customers in the world. What about Asia? We love Asia. We work on Toyotas, Hondas, Nissans, Hyundais, and Kias.
What about Amsterdam? It's fake cars. Oh.
Look, no matter what side of the car the steering wheel's on, we got you covered. Dan's Automotive, serving the best customers in Alaska. Call 907-420-0416.
Coming out of the timeout, we get a face-off at neutral at center ice. Kenai goals at 2:22, 4:20, 8:50, and now 9:31 to erase a 3-0 deficit and make it a 4-1 lead. The freshman Tristan Sanders having some equipment malfunctions as he's trying to get his neck guard came loose. And so the coach will fix that. The last goal, Ryder Gagnon, his second of the game, assisted by Bridger Begich and Will Howard. So Howard has now been a part of every single one of Kenai's goals. And Gagnon has been a part of 3 of them. 2 goals and an assist. Howard with 3 assists and a goal. We're over here still working on the Tristan Sanders hockey lid. And it looks like the backup goalie is just going to fork over his helmet as the players mill around on the ice. Kenai was in dire straits with their backs really against the wall. Just moments ago, it seemed like they trailed 2-0 to start the second period and then gave up a goal very quickly at a minute 27, unassisted by team captain and center Andy Rust for the Golden Bears. But since then, it's been all Kenai offense, and they can't miss. So now Sanders back in the net, and the face-off at center ice controlled by the Bears. Carson Lewis back into his own end, chisels one ahead, but it goes right to Cameron Schwinn. Schwinn will dump it down in. He'll be chased down by Ryder Gagnon. Gagnon with 2 goals and an assist. Puck caroms out to the right wing. Gagnon with it, near circle, pass underneath. Everybody on top of it, batting at it in the low slot, and it comes away on the stick of Kaizen Postma. Now a takeaway. Here's Nick Kunitz. Tries to split a defensive wedge, and the puck's poked away, and the Bears have to tag up or they'd be offsides. Here comes Kenai. Gagnon backs one over to Begich just across the blue line. Begich with it. Hit by Ayla Sanders from behind. Now down underneath, Gagnon with it. On the goal line, chips it high over to Howard outside the near circle. Howard bumped from behind. Schwinn, a wrist shot. That one swept aside by Sanders. Over to the left wing. A shot deflected into the near wall. Turnaround shot, that one into the low slot. Rebound is loose. Ayla Sanders can't control it. Puck still in the offensive zone, and now Sanders will bring it right to left. Hands it off, but it's right to Gagnon. Gagnon takes a little kind of a weak touch from Andy Rust. Here's Will Howard into the offensive end, pulls up, and he'll turn around and drag it back out to neutral ice. Right back he comes. That's a shot high over the net. Kenai playing with their hair on fire right now. Everything is downhill. Everything we've been wanting from them, they seem to have found it all at once. Here's another pass into the low slot. Mason Butler with a goal. No shot. There's another one. That one's loose. Swept into the near corner by Sanders. Gagnon with it behind the net. Tries to flip it up over the top. Now Butler tries the same. Both of those attempts going off the netting. And now far side. Puck chased down by Reese Morton. Lewis bats at it. Puck trapped up against the far wall, and Noah Hallam comes away with it. Kenai extended offensive possession. A shot by Hallam into the midsection of Sanders, and that's a save for him. 4-3 is the Kenai lead on the Three Bears Alaska scoreboard. Coming up during the second intermission, it's the Intermission Report brought to you by State Farm agent Christy Babcock, auto insurance, homeowners, life insurance, and investing opportunities with locations in Kenai and Soldotna. Face off to the left of Sanders, controlled by Bartlett. De Guzman to the far wall, races it ahead, banks it off the wall, but that one's taken away. And then immediately secured right back by the Bears, although they have to do it in their own end. Rothermel tries a cross-ice pass. That one knocked away by the Cardinals, and now it caroms out to neutral ice. Potton will chase it down, cutting off Lewis into his own corner in the left end. Potton knocked down from behind by Lewis. Cardinals get control of the puck back, and it's taken back by Rothermel. He'll try a shot, but deflected away by a defenseman. Puck in the near corner. Hallam fighting Postma. Now Potton trying to clear it out. Hallam up the near board side to Smith. Smith has Butler if he can get the puck to him. No penalty called. Smith takes a touch. Now Howard comes off the bench and will get it and back it out to neutral ice. 2:14 to play the second period. Cardinals trailed 3-0. Now they lead 4-3. Mason Butler across the blue line. Shoots. That one knocked down by Sanders. There's another chance. A pass from Hallam at the left wing. And it's back up to neutral ice. Postma has it. He's got a breakaway. Postma makes a move. Misses on the backhanded shot. Puck caroms right back into the crease. Kicked away. And a whistle and a penalty coming. This is going to be elbowing. And we'll see who it's going to come against. Looks like it's going to be against Isaac Potton. So the Cardinals back to the penalty box again, but this is just the first time in the second period. Penalty at 12 minutes and 12 seconds. 13 minutes and 12 seconds. Elbowing against Isaac Potton. And a power play for the Bears. Cardinals trying to make a personnel change, but the officials say nope. That was going to be Gagnon coming on for Brett Goldsby, for Bridger Begich. But Begich is made to come back out on the ice. Face off, won by the Bears. Lewis, now Postma. Postma near circle. He shoots, and that one bangs off a couple skates before going behind the net. Taken away by Schwinn, and he clears it out up the near board side. Carson Lewis with the puck. Feeds it to Rust. Rust spinning along his own blue line. Now brings it into the offensive end. Weaving his way through the low slot, and the puck stripped away. Will Howard wrapping it over to the near corner. 1:23 to go on the power play. 1:09 left in the second period. Shot from Lewis wide right of the net. And now a whistle and a penalty coming. This is going to be against Schwinn. A high stick, and it's the penalty variety high stick. And the Cardinals getting penalties at a very inopportune time. And Cameron Schwinn back in the box for the third time tonight. Penalty at 13 minutes and 58 seconds. So now a 5-on-3 for this Bears team. Kenai trailed by 3. They've scored 4 unanswered in the second period to take a 4-3 lead. Now they're going to have to kill a minute of 5-on-3. Puck controlled by the Bears. Sliding to the near side is De Guzman. He'll fire a shot. That one bouncing in the crease. Off the post. And Kunitz tries another shot, but that one kicked away. And now here comes Noah Hallam, a shorthanded breakaway. He shoots, and it's kicked away by Sanders. Cardinals. And now Hallam picks it up himself, chasing the puck. Everybody chasing him. Now it's taken away, and it's a 4-on-2. Postma shot. That one's off the post. 20 seconds to play in the second period. Cardinals clear it out, and that should take us to the end of the second period. 2 post shots by the Bears. 8 seconds left as Lewis brings it across the blue line, gets a shot off, but that one saved by Witt with 3.7 to play in the second period. Kaizen Postma put one off the post, and that was the second on this power play. And with 3 seconds, they'll pull the goalie, and they'll go with 6-on-3. Postma fighting for the draw. Puck loose, and buzzer sounds before we get to the end of the period. Or rather, before they get a shot off. So Cardinals kill about a minute of 5-on-3. They'll have 10-11 seconds of 5-on-3 to start the second period. And then about 50 seconds of power play after that. It's a 4-3 Kenai lead after 2 periods. Coming up, it's your intermission report brought to you by State Farm agent Christy Babcock, right here on ESPN Radio.
With all the snow piling up, Dam Roofing and Construction is here to help with professional rooftop snow removal for both commercial and residential properties. They're licensed, bonded, and insured, and they have all the proper safety equipment and expertise to remove snow safely and efficiently, protecting your roof, your building, and your peace of mind. Don't wait until the damage is done. Call Dam Roofing and Construction today for reliable professional rooftop snow removal you can trust. 907-262-3996. That's 907-262-3996.
Let's talk about something that's not always top of mind, but still really important, life insurance. Because it offers financial protection for your loved ones and help them pay for things like a mortgage, credit card debt, and even your... coverage that fits your needs and budget.
Hi, this is Christy Babcock, your local State Farm agent, still in Kenai, and now also at the Soldotna Y.
The high school hockey intermission continues with the State Farm agent Christy Babcock intermission report. With highlights, stats, and game recaps, let's return ringside with today's broadcast team on ESPN 1140 AM and 96.9 FM.
Welcome back ringside in Kenai, where the Cardinals have answered with gusto in the second period. You know, we made some asks of Kenai before the game and then in that first intermission, and I'm really glad to know that they were tuned in and listening to us, because boy did they answer back with fervor, eliminating a 3-0 deficit after Andy Rust beat Evan Witt with 1:27 gone in the second period, made it a 3-0 game at the time. And then Rust got bit by the penalty bug. He was all three Bartlett penalties in that second period were committed by Andy Rust, a hooking call at 1:46, and then 2 penalties at 3 minutes and 15 seconds, a cross-check, and an unsportsmanlike conduct on the first penalty. Cardinals breakthrough, a goal at 2:22 by Ryder Gagnon, assisted by Will Howard. Then on the second power play, it was Will Howard assisted by Ryder Gagnon. Then Mason Butler picks up a goal on a post shot, banks one in off the left post, sneaking it around the right arm of Tristan Sanders. That one at 8 minutes and 50 seconds. And then Ryder Gagnon, his second goal of the period, at 9:31, assisted by Bridger Begich and Will Howard. And Kenai, for a period of about 8 or 9 minutes, playing the best hockey we've seen them play all season. I mean, they were just skating downhill about as fast as you can skate downhill, and you could see how high the energy was. I don't know that we've seen them moving that fast all season. But once they got a taste of blood, boy, they just kept going for it. They were like piranhas swarming around the helpless freshman goalie, Tristan Sanders, over there in the Bartlett net. And he looked like he was all alone on an island for about 7 minutes before things started to slow down. And that coincidentally happened to be when Kenai started committing penalties again. An elbowing call against Isaac Potton at 13 minutes and 12 seconds, and then a high stick against Cameron Schwinn at 13:58. So the Cardinals had to kill 5-on-3 for about a minute. They did that. They got a little bit lucky, a couple post shots in there for the Bears. Kaisen Postma had a great look, and unfortunately named, I would say, in that instance, because the post was not his friend in that instance. But with 15 minutes on the clock in the third period, it'll be an 11-second 5-on-3 for Bartlett, and then they'll have 50 seconds of a man advantage after that. Here's your second period shots and saves brought to you by 3T Detailing, your hometown, your detailing specialist here on the Kenai Peninsula. Your defense against a dirty vehicle. Find them on Facebook, 907-252-3960. In the second period, Tristan Sanders for Bartlett, as many saves as he had in the first period, 16. Unfortunately, though, Kenai had 20 shots that period. So 20 shots and 16 saves for Sanders. And then for Evan Witt, 9 saves on 10 Bartlett shots. That is your second period intermission report. We'll take a break. Again, it keeps getting colder by the minute here in Kenai. We'll be back with the third period. Cardinals on top 4-3 at home on ESPN Radio.
When trying to find a dentist, it can be challenging, and Ridgeway Family Dentistry knows this. Ridgeway is the new state. Even if you don't have time to have multiple appointments, Ridgeway Family Dentistry can complete all your treatment in one easy visit. At Ridgeway Family Dentistry, they know how important it is to have a smile and know how that can change your life. For your next dental appointment, call Ridgeway Family Dentistry at 262-8404.
Hey guys, Valentine's Day is approaching fast. If your family is complete and you have been considering a vasectomy, nothing says I love you like, honey, I've got this. Dr. Alvarez has been performing no needle, no scalpel vasectomies for over 20 years. This minimally invasive procedure is quick, comfortable, and nearly pain-free with a fast recovery. Peninsula Surgery and Aesthetics in Homer and Soldotna offers competitive pricing to help give your partner the perfect Valentine's gift, peace of mind. Our price is less than many insurance deductibles. To schedule or check your plan, call 235-1010. Best gift ever.
When you've been involved in an accident or suffered at the hands of someone else's negligence, we can help you assess whether you need an attorney and whether we can add value to your case. This is a small community, and we want to make sure that our community members are taken care of. We offer free consults to help you determine what insurances might be available to provide a full and fair recovery for you and whether we can add value to your case. Call us at Earhart, Elsner, and Cooley to schedule a free consult, 907-283-2876.
Hello, I'm Marty Hansen, owner and manager of Eyewear Express. Let's talk about your money. Let's talk about getting up at 0 dark 30 to make a buck. Whether you're working in the hospital, one of our schools, or in the rain and snow, or you spend weeks away from your family, Eyewear Express knows the value of your money, and we promise the glasses we sell you mean as much to us as your money does to you. Eyewear Express will build you eyewear that are worth the money you use to pay for.
Hey Al, just want to jump on and say I'm going to play the replays here in a second. I didn't have my replays turned on for the first period. I got the second ones for you coming up here in a minute.
Because I believe a small town pharmacy is where people get the best care. Our customers aren't just customers, you're our friends and neighbors. Stop by at 299 North Binkley in Soldotna for hometown friendly service. I'm Justin Ruffridge, and I'm here to serve you.
Exciting news from Odyssey Family Practice. They're proud to welcome Sarah Kirka, physician assistant, to the team. She's now accepting new patients. Sarah's passionate about helping Alaskans feel their best through weight loss, hormone replacement, and vitality care. Because up here, staying strong and energized matters. So whether you're chasing grandkids, snow machines, or just better health, call 907-313-4569 and visit Odyssey Family Practice today.
Epic Healthcare for your
journey.
For years, Morgan Steel has proudly supported local sports, vocational programs, and community activities because a strong community starts with strong support. They're cheering on all our local teams and athletes this season. Good luck out there. For all your steel and metal needs, Morgan Steel has you covered with a full range of products and expert service. Plus, their partnership with Central Welding supplies ensures top quality materials you can trust. Call 907-283-7136. Morgan Steel, building Alaska strong.
Looking for the ultimate birthday party spot? Come to Jumpin' Junction on K Beach Road, the family fun zone. Bounce wild in their bounce houses, glow through the blacklight mini golf, hit up the arcade and the VR games, and chow down at the snack bar. They make birthdays easy. You bring the kids, they bring the fun. Check out their party packages and book now at jumpinjunctionak.com. Unwrap the fun only at Jumpin' Junction on K Beach Road. 907-420-0566. Jumpin' Junction, where there's fun for the whole family.
Picture this, a number in your hand, hope fading by the minute. A voice crackles through the overhead speaker.
Now serving B47 and window 11.
Oh, that's my number. Wait, is that window even open? No.
You've entered the DMV, a place where time stands still and paperwork spreads like a creeping fog. Now picture yourself at AK Express tags, titles, and registrations in Soldotna. No lines, no disappearing windows, just fast, local service AK Express.
Say goodbye to 2025 and roll into 2026 with savings at Alaska Bolt & Chain. For a limited time, enjoy 25% off select lobby items as they celebrate the new year. It's the perfect excuse to stop in, look around, and kick off the year with a great deal. Don't miss out. These savings won't last forever. Visit Alaska Bolt & Chain at 36314 Kenai Spur Highway in Soldotna. 907-262-7983.
I'm feeling under the weather today.
You can call PCHS and schedule a same-day appointment.
What's that?
A same-day appointment is when you call ahead to get scheduled, fill out your registration paperwork, and see a provider all in one day.
Will my insurance pay for it?
PCHS takes most insurance plans, but if you're not sure, you can call and talk to one of their patient eligibility coordinators.
That sounds great. What's their number?
907-262-3119.
I'll call them now.
Peninsula Community Health Services. Healthcare for all.
January savings are here at Sweeney's Clothing in Soldotna. Save 20% off all shoes and boots excluding clearance. Bundle up with Chaco outerwear, 30% off jackets, bibs, snow pants, and snowsuits for the whole family. Stock up on socks, 20% off. Dovetail, 20% off. And Ariat men's and women's jackets, 20% off excluding flame resistant. And celebrate Grundon's 100 years with 20% off sweatshirts. Don't miss huge January savings at Sweeney's Clothing in Soldotna, your workwear and outerwear headquarters for the whole family.
When something happens to your car, you might say,
"Oh, come on.
seriously?
This is so extra.
But what you could say is,
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
your local State Farm agent is available when and where you need them, online, over the phone, or even in person. State Farm agents are here to answer your questions and help you file your claim.
This is so extra.
Hi, this is Christy Babcock, your local State Farm agent, still in Kenai and now also at the Soldotna Y.
Is your little one meeting all their motor milestones? If not, PCHS can help. We offer pediatric physical therapy provided by our experienced group of therapists. We serve patients from birth all the way through adulthood. If your child is experiencing pain and mobility issues are holding them back, our providers will help them feel stronger, move better, and meet their goals. Now taking appointments at PCHS Kenai. Call 907-262-3119.
Peninsula Community Health Services. Healthcare for all.
Who would you call if your vehicle broke down? If you
Come
just
back
had
after
an
this one.
accident or just spun off into the ditch? You might be able to think right now, but in the moment, it might be hard. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to add this name and number to your phone in case of emergency. Okay, are you ready? It's Genwar. That's Jenwar, Towing and Recovery, 394-6068. That number again is 394-6068. Available 24 hours a day. Genwar Towing and Recovery. Make sure it's in your phone.
Welcome back to Kenai. We're ringside as we go to the third period. The Cardinals now leading the Bartlett Golden Bears 4-3. They trailed by as many as 3 goals in the second period, and then they've scored 4 unanswered. They will face a 5-on-3 for the first 11 seconds of this period. Here's your Floor Ever opening face-off. Your hometown flooring professionals located off East Poppy on K Beach Road. Call 907-260-9270. It'll be Andy Rust to take the face-off against Noah Hallam. Hallam getting that one into his own end. Langham bats it up the far wall. And with 4 seconds left, that should end the 5-on-3. Puck down into the far corner, controlled by the Bears. Wraparound attempt, that one stuffed at the post by Witt. There's another shot, that one knocked down, rebound loose. Another shot goes off a skate and wide of the net. Kenai with the puck, here's Ryder Gagnon. Cardinals playing down a man. 24 seconds left in the Bartlett power play. Carson Lewis behind his own net, hands it off to Andy Rust. Rust left to right. Can really move now at the red line across the blue line, pulls up there and has the puck stripped away by Hallam. Hallam will spin around at the red line and try and kill the last 5 seconds of this power play, and he's going to. He's got Isaac Potton. Potton's cross-ice pass looking for Ryder Gagnon, way overled, but both teams now back to full strength with 13:55 to play. Begich pushed across the blue line with the puck, so Kenai tags up. Begich brings it back in, shoots, and it's knocked down in and out of the glove of Sanders, and they wave off icing for some reason, as this one was flung back the other way by the Bears in the Kenai end. Nice touch pass from Gagnon ahead to Begich, but Reese Morton does a good job to get a stick on it for Bartlett. Cardinals bringing it up the far board side. In the far corner. Now up the far wall. Isaac Potton comes away with it. Another swing and a miss on a shot attempt. Does connect on this one, but it goes off the skate of Reese. Deflects right to Andy Rust, and he'll go left to right. Brings it into the Kenai zone. In the far circle. Shot is cut away. And right back to Rust. He cycles it up to the right wing, shoots, and this one's wide right of the net. Postma picks it up in the far corner. Pass attempt in the circle, cut away, and back to the far wall for Postma again. He'll shoot now, and that one knocked down by Witt. Another save for the senior goaltender. Kept in at the left wing by Carson Lewis. Now down underneath the goal line. Puck against the far wall as Ryder Gagnon gets a stick on it. Andy Rust comes away with it, and now the Cardinals control it, coming back the other way. Ryder Gagnon all by himself, right to left as Kenai changes line, rips a wrist shot from just past the blue line, and a catching save for Tristan Sanders. 12 minutes and 12 seconds to go on the Three Bears Alaska scoreboard. Cardinals leading 4-3. They send fresh skates out on the ice. Noah Hallam, Mason Butler, Dominic Smith, Tanner Gregory, and Cameron Schwinn face off to the left of Sanders, Rust, and Hallam. Rust winning the draw, but it's kept in the right wing by Schwinn. He'll wrap it around to the near corner for Dominic Smith. He overskates it, but he chases it down, takes it right into the high slot. A wrist shot, that one goes off the post. Back to Hallam, outside the near circle, centers it for Schwinn, top of the key, or the slot. Shot deflects high over the net, and back out to the blue line, and Schwinn will retreat with it. Cardinals controlling the puck in their own end. Errant pass picked up by Rothermel, and back into the Bartlett end where De Guzman will advance it, but he overleads Russ, and it goes right to Cameron Schwinn, trying to bank one off the far wall, looking for Smith, but it goes to Carson Lewis. Lewis now underleading Rust. Andy's teammates having a hard time finding him in stride, but he controls it at the right wing, gets loose, weaving through traffic, and now a shot on goal, but poked away by Howard. Back up to the point for Lewis, now to Rust again. Trying to get through past Howard, and Smith can't do it. Howard a pass ahead to Mason Butler, who already has a goal in this game, but he's cut off by Carson Lewis. Lewis, though, can't clear it out as Howard will just pin it up against the far board side while fresh skates come out onto the ice for Kenai. Now Howard comes away with it. and he's going to back it all the way out to neutral ice and play it into his own end. Now Lily Langham, her cross-ice pass cut off by Ayla Sanders. Now to Guzman with it, left to right, playing it into the offensive end, into the near circle, down behind the net. Harassed by Isaac Potton, puck behind the Kenai can. Centering pass, shot wide of the net. Rothermel outside the near circle, sends one up top for Lewis, back to Rothermel, but it's a little chip shot and he has to play it off the glove. Langham gets in the way and takes a big shot, and she is a little banged up, and she'll head for the bench as Kenai plays it back the other way. Butler and now Howard. Howard will circle around to the center, squeezes through a defensive wedge, but Carson Lewis is there to take the puck away. Lewis into the left, right end, shoots, and a chest protector save by Evan Witt as he pins it there, and 9:45 remaining in the third period. Kenai leading 4-3 on the Three Bears Alaska scoreboard. Kenai trailed by 3 early in the second period. They've since scored 4 unanswered. Face-off controlled by the Bears. Here's Kaizen Postma, centers a pass. It's loose in the crease, but Cardinals come away with it. Tanner Gregory in his own far corner. Wraps it to the near wing. Begich loses it. Morton has his shot knocked down by Schwinn. And there's a shot right along the line, pinned up against the post and covered up by Witt. Nick Kunitz trying to thread the needle. And with 9:21 to play now, Bartlett has seen their 3-goal edge evaporate. Trying to get back in this one. Kenai has not had many leads in the third period, but now in back-to-back games, going back to their last one before the break against Homer, they've taken leads into the third period. Face off to the left of Witt. Handled by Rust and the Bears. Rust loose in the low slot. His shot deflects up off the leg pads of Evan Witt. That was a mano-a-mano situation. Rust and Witt. Witt coming out on top. Puck deflecting into the protective netting, so we'll get a face-off to the catching glove side. That's the nearest dot to us in the Cardinals' end. Will Howard knocking the puck into his own near corner. And it goes up the near wall. Mason Butler getting past Reese Morton. Morton, though, returning the favor, cutting him off. Morton taking a shot from Dominic Smith, and here comes Postma. Postma has Kunitz on the near side, and now an offsides as Andy Rust was across the blue line before Kaizen Postma could bring it over. 8 minutes and 51 seconds remaining in this one. Kenai on top, 4-3. Face-off will be at neutral ice. It'll be Will Howard and Andy Rust. Howard wins the draw, and it goes to, well, it's taken away by the Bears. Puck bouncing along over sticks. Isaac Potton comes up with it clean. Brings it into the left end, chases it now into the far corner where he's pinned up against the board by Lewis, and Rust will come away with it. And the Bears will try and bring it up the near side. Butler does a great job to keep that in at the left wing. Bats it back down in below the net where Reese Morton will play it up the farboard side, and it's going to be icing against the Golden Bears. 8 minutes and 19 seconds to play in the third period. Kenai leading Bartlett 4-3. Face-off will be to the left of Tristan Sanders in the Bartlett end. Andy Rust and Noah Hallam. Hallam getting that one right back to Dominic Smith at the right point. But Smith's pass cut off by Postma. Postma will bring it into the offensive end. And Mason Butler lost a stick, and he has to kick the puck. But he does, kicks it out of his own end. Chases down his stick. Here's Carson Lewis up the far wall. Into the Kenai zone. A shot is off the chest protector and covered up by Witt. 7 minutes and 52 seconds. We're getting about 30 seconds of play in between whistles right now. Kenai, with the advantage of last change at home, offered to send fresh skates out. Coach Hallam says, now we're good with the personnel we got out there right now. Face off to the right of Witt, won by Will Howard. He gets it to Gagnon. Gagnon and Begich across the blue line. Puck is loose. Howard turns around, cleans up a loose puck, and fires a wrist shot that goes wide of the net. Now off the outside of the can, picked up there by Andy Rust. Rust goes left to right, across the red line. Now into Kenai ice. And he has it poked away. Begich, pass ahead looking for Schwinn. That's taken away by de Guzman into the Kenai zone. Shot kicked away by Witt into the near corner. De Guzman chases it down, takes a big hit from Will Howard. Howard steals the puck away. Now he plays it into his own far corner. Makes a move past Postma at the far wall. Has the puck into the offensive zone. Splits the wedge. Centers a pass, but it's a little too short, intended for Begich. Puck now outside the crease, but Carson Lewis will scoop it up. And he's looking for Postma. Long pass, about 100-foot pass. That one ends up on a Kenai stick. Oh, what a move by Ryder Gagnon. Makes Kaizen Postma lose an edge. But Russ takes it away. And he'll weave through traffic left to right, trying to split a wedge, but he's cut off by Goldsby and Langham. Puck bounces back out to the blue line. Mason Butler, a one-on-one, makes a move. He's got it in the low crease. The puck is loose, and nobody can get to it but de Guzman for the Bears. And that was just a goal left on the table. Here's Kaizen Postma, left to right up the far wall. Into the offensive zone, cross ice pass into the near corner, looking for Lewis. He centers a pass. Postma, the shot goes wide and behind the net. Brett Goldsby will chisel one, a backhander, and that's going to be icing. I thought Mason Butler might have had a chance to chase that one down, but he went coast to coast like 2 or 3 times in the span of a minute. Didn't know he was going to be skating lines today in the third period. 5:53 remaining. We are just a little bit south of 11 p.m. here in Kenai, which is a time that nobody thought they would be playing hockey tonight, except for us here. Face off to the right of Witt, won by the Cardinals. Puck taken away by Postma. He'll fire a shot, and that one tinks in off the post, and Kaizen Postma ties the game at 4 with 5:45 to play, making up for the postie he had in the second period that didn't go in. This one sneaking in over the left shoulder of Evan Witt. At 9 minutes and 15 seconds, game all tied up. Face off now at neutral center ice with an even game. A goal here would be appreciated, as it is far too cold for overtime, but you know what? We'll do what we have to. Cardinals play the puck back into their own end, where Schwinn will take it behind his own net. Nice pass, a feed ahead. Now Howard with it, one-on-one. He's got Morton, fires a shot. That one knocked down. The rebound, Begich was there. Now Gagnon will shoot, and it goes wide left. Puck kept in by Potton at the left wing, runs into Will Howard, and that creates some space for the Bears to clear it out. Carson Lewis chips one into the Kenai zone. And Schwinn will ice a puck here, looking for Ryder Gagnon, but that was your classic case of Schwinn was zigging and Gagnon was zagging, and now we're just going to get a face-off in the Kenai zone. Just under 5 minutes to play. We're all tied at 4. Kenai had the goal advantage going into the third period. 10 minutes without a goal. There's a shot off the face-off, knocked away by Witt. Into the far corner, Andy Rust has it. Fires another one. This one goes off Goldsby's stick. Shot high, knocked down by Witt. That one not on goal, though. Up to the right wing for Carson Lewis. Mason Butler comes in and sweeps it away. Feeds it ahead to Dominic Smith. Smith will send it to an empty wing. Noah Hallam tries to chase it down there, but Reese Morton beats him to it. And with 4.5 to play, we have some tired skaters out on the ice. You can see the fatigue setting in late. And now it's really just a battle of attrition. Who's going to have the legs to last late? Cameron Schwinn in his own near corner wraps it to the far side for Dominic Smith, who has a breakaway. Here comes Dominic Smith. One man to beat. Shoots, and it's high over the net. Off the glass, centers a pass, and this one bounces out to neutral ice where Reese Morton will take it into the left end. Centering pass, a shot, and a goal by Ayla Sanders. On the feed from Reese Morton. And Bartlett answers back. And they now lead 5-4. That goal coming at 11 minutes and 13 seconds. Ayla Sanders the goal. Reese Morton the assist. And I think Andy Rust gets an assist as well in there. Now Kenai down a goal once again. Bartlett controls the faceoff. Puck in the Kenai zone. Begich with it, takes a big shot from behind. Kenai, though, keeps control. Isaac Potton finds Gagnon up the far wall, and Gagnon will turn around and play it back into his own end for Smith, or Schwinn rather. Schwinn's pass is cut off. Here's Carson Lewis. Lewis in between a quartet of Cardinals still comes away with the puck. And we have a whistle as the net comes off the moorings. Classic Evan Witt move right there. Late in the game, team down, and the other team starting to get a little momentum. I'll just kick this post off the mooring. 3:14 to play. Face off to Witt's left. Will Howard and Andy Russ. Puck caroms into the far corner in the right end. De Guzman scoops it up, plays it behind the Kenai net, and has it stripped away by Isaac Potton. Potton getting held up from behind. No whistle, though. Kenai fans throwing their hands in the air, wanting a whistle. They could use a penalty right now. Under 3 minutes to play. They trail by a goal. De Guzman outside the near circle. Centers a pass, but that one's cut away. Back to De Guzman, playing it along the goal line. Stripped away from behind. Now Rust. Rust has it taken away by Begich, but it goes right to De Guzman. He has it behind the Kenai net. Pushed around by Potton, and now Howard comes in and swipes it away. Looking for Gagnon, but that one goes off his skate. Now a shot on net. Taken away by the Cardinals. Big hit in the near wall on Schwinn. And the puck kept in at the left wing. Now Gagnon with it. And a hand pass as Ryder tried to feed it to himself. 2 minutes and 6 seconds remaining. We'll see how long Witt remains in net this late in the game, with Kenai surprisingly now trailing by a goal. It sure looked like we might see a game end on a 4-3 score, but Bartlett, sparked with 2 quick goals, has taken a lead. Cardinals control the puck. They play it up the farboard side. Dominic Smith pulls up, shoots, and scores! Dominic Smith! What a shot! And we are tied at 5. Smith, an unassisted goal at 13 minutes and 3 seconds. And it is now a 5-5 game with 1 minute and 57 seconds to play. Who's gonna blink? Neutral ice face-off into the Kenai zone. Tanner Gregory will fire it around the boards over to the far wing, where Andy Rust will play it back out to neutral ice. Tanner Gregory pretty egregiously tripped right in front of the official, but no call. Carson Lewis has it. Beautiful backhanded pass, but it goes off a stick, and then Gregory overskates it. Puck taken right back by Lewis and the Bears. 90 seconds to play. Here's Postma. He had a goal earlier this period to tie the game at 4. Centering pass looking for Kunitz. That one knocked back into the corner by the defenseman. 1:14 to play. Here's a bouncing puck, goes all the way into the Bears zone. Reese Morton has it behind his own net and saucers one up the far side. He's got Postma, who brings into the offensive zone, shoots, and that one deflected into the far corner by Witt. Cardinals with the puck. Here's Goldsby, or Gagnon. He'll bring it right to left. And a weak slide of a shot that just trickles down behind the goal. 45 seconds to play. Isaac Potton has it at neutral ice. Along the far board side, dumps it down in behind the goal line. Picked up there by Carson Lewis. 30 seconds remaining. Lewis gives it away in the defensive end. Potton ahead to Howard, down low, looking for Gagnon. He comes away with it. 20 seconds left. Gagnon gets pinned between a couple players, finds Howard. Howard, the wraparound. Shot is across the crease, and now Rust, and he's tripped. It's going to be a tripping call against the Cardinals, but the delayed penalty, the Bears briefly get the puck out of their net, and Will Howard heads to the box with 2.3 seconds remaining in the third period. That's the first penalty of the third, and now Kenai has to survive in overtime, more than likely down a man. Penalty at 14 minutes and 58 seconds. A trip by Will Howard. Face off with 2 seconds to play. Won by the Bears, but that takes us to the end of regulation. In overtime, it will be a power play for Bartlett, unless we're going to just call this one a tie. We'll see what they do here. No, we are going to play overtime. We'll take a 1-minute break. Back after this with your OT period on ESPN Radio.
For years, Morgan Steel has proudly supported local sports, vocational programs, and community activities because a strong community starts with strong support. They're cheering on all our local teams and athletes this season. Good luck out there. For all your steel and metal needs, Morgan Steel has you covered with a full range of products and expert service. Plus, their partnership with Central Welding supplies ensures top quality materials you can trust. Morgan Steel, building Alaska strong.
Well, we're going to have overtime here shortly. 8 minutes on the clock, 1:57 of power play for the Golden Bears, who scored 2 unanswered in the third period to make it a 5-4 game. Then Dominic Smith, an unassisted goal at 13 minutes and 3 seconds, tied it at 5. I don't know what it is about Division I teams coming to this rink and losing in overtime, but going back to last year, the Cardinals have now played 3 overtime games at home against Division I opponents. They had a miracle comeback against the Chugiak Mustangs. Gavin Lyles tying the game with 5 seconds to go, and then Logan Meese, about a 60-foot wrist shot between a trio of Mustangs to win the game in overtime. And then earlier this season, Mason Butler scores the game winner against the Eagle River Wolves after Ryder Gagnon ties the game with just seconds to play. I believe in that instance there were 2 seconds left in the game when Ryder tied that game against Eagle River. So, do the Cardinals have a little more overtime magic? We'll see. They have to kill 1:57 of penalty to start the OT period. Hallam and Rust at center ice. Hallam controls the puck, and he just chips it into the offensive zone, and the Cardinals will retreat and let the Bears play it right to left. Here comes Rust. Outside the far circle, along the goal line. Wraps it around, backhands one through the slot, and it plays up to the right corner. Turnaround shot for Lewis. And that one off the outside of the net. Langham can't clear it out. De Guzman keeps it in at the left wing. 90 seconds of power play remaining. We are in overtime. It's below zero. A shot and a goal for Andy Rust. And the Bartlett Golden Bears pick up their second win of the season. And it comes at the expense of the Cardinals. A power play goal for Andy Rust in overtime. And your final score is 6-5 in favor of Bartlett. Up next, it's the postgame show presented by Peninsula Community Health Services on ESPN 1140 AM and 96.9 FM. We'll be back right after this.
Hi, this is Michelle, the 340B program coordinator at
I'll tell you when to bring it back.
What is 340B? It's a program that provides prescribed medications at a greatly reduced price. This is a remarkable program for PCHS patients who have no insurance or for those who have high deductibles or copays. Patients that have had a qualifying visit in the last 12 months with providers may participate in this program at no charge. To find out how the 340B program can help you with medication costs, contact 262-3119.
Peninsula Community Health Services. Healthcare for all.
When trying to find a dentist, it can be challenging, and Ridgeway Family Dentistry knows this. Ridgeway is a new state-of-the-art facility offering you pain-free dentistry and is family-friendly. Even if you don't have time to have multiple appointments, Ridgeway Family Dentistry can complete all your treatment in one easy visit. At Ridgeway Family Dentistry, they know how important it is to have a smile and know how that can change your life. For your next
play one more, then come back with the postgame line.
Family Dentistry at 262-8404.
Dan's Automotive has the best customers in the world. What about Asia? We love Asia. We work on Toyotas, Hondas, Nissans, Hyundais, and Kias.
What about Amsterdam?
Do they even make cars?
Oh.
Look, no matter what side of the car the steering wheel's on, we got you covered. Dan's Automotive, serving the best customers in Alaska. Call 907-420-0416.
Now, it's time for the Peninsula Community Health Services postgame show on ESPN 1140 AM and 96.9 FM. With game recaps and postgame interviews, let's return ringside.
Welcome back to the Kenai Multi-Purpose Facility. Cardinals lose in overtime. A Andy Rust goal 37 seconds into the extra period. And your final score, 6-5. Welcome to the Hockey Postgame Show presented by Peninsula Community Health Services, PCHS, supporting your health, offering medical, dental, eye care, and behavioral health services. Visit them online at pchsak.org or call 907-262-3119 and schedule an appointment today. Well, it was a back-and-forth affair. Cardinals went down by as many as 3 goals early in the second period. They rally back. Goals by Ryder Gagnon, Will Howard, and Mason Butler to tie the game, and then Gagnon giving the Cardinals their first lead of the game at 9 minutes and 31 seconds into the second period on a goal assisted by Bridger Begich and Will Howard. Then in the third period, Cardinals with a 4-3 lead. Kaizen Postma ties the game, 9 minutes and 15 seconds, and then Ayla Sanders gives the Bears a lead, 5-4. But about 2 minutes later, Dominic Smith with a great-looking wrist shot, beating Tristan Sanders over the right shoulder into the top shelf with a beautiful little bottle rocket, makes it a 5-5 game. But then, as you heard just moments ago, Andy Rust winning it for the Bears in overtime. Your final score again, 6-5. And now your shots and save totals brought to you by 3T Detail, your defense against a dirty vehicle. You can find them on Facebook or call 907-252-3960. In the third period and overtime, 12 shots on goal for the Bartlett Golden Bears, 9 saves for Evan Witt for a 3-period total of 34 shots on goal for the Bears and 28 saves for Witt. And for the Cardinals, 4 shots in the third period, no shots in overtime, 3 saves in that third frame for Sanders, a 3-period total of 40 shots on goal for the Cardinals, 35 saves for Sanders. That's going to do it for the post-game show, at least the first half of things here. When we come back, we'll wrap things up with your Pizza Boys Player of the Game. You're listening to High School Hockey and the PCHS post-game show on ESPN Radio.
PCHS strives to meet our mission of strengthening our community by providing accessible and affordable health care. We accept most insurance, including private health insurance, veterans, Medicaid, Denali Kid Care, and Medicare. We offer a sliding fee discount to those who qualify based on family size and income, even if you have insurance. Call PCHS at 907-262-3119 and ask to talk to a patient eligibility coordinator for more information.
Peninsula Community Health.
which honors local athletes from Kenai, Soldotna, McKiskey, and across the Kenai Peninsula. Pizza Boys is your local destination for stone-baked pizzas, fresh pasta, and so much more. We create authentic, hand-tossed pizzas daily, made to order with fresh, quality ingredients that are sure to make your mouth water. Our full-service dining room and takeout options are ready to satisfy all your cravings. Dine in, take out, or have it delivered by calling 260-4800. Pizza Boys.
Welcome back to the PCHS postgame show. It's time for your Pizza Boys Player of the Game. Today's Player of the Game will receive a gift certificate for a pepperoni pizza from Soldotna Pizza Boys. For pickup or delivery, call 907-260-4800. Soldotna Pizza Boys sponsoring the Player of the Game, 907-260-4800. Your Player of the Game for the Kenai Cardinals this evening is Ryder Gagnon. Ryder with 2 goals and an assist in this one, and the big goal giving the Cardinals their lead in the second period, making it a 4-3 game. Ryder Gagnon, your Player of the Game. So congratulations, Ryder. Make sure you swing by your school office and pick up your gift certificate for a pepperoni pizza at Soldotna Pizza Boys. Well, things don't go the Cardinals' way. Rounding this one out in overtime, they fall to the visiting Division I Bartlett Golden Bears by a final score of 6-5. Cardinals will be back in action next week, Tuesday night, right here at the Kenai Multipurpose Facility, taking on the Homer Mariners in their first conference game of this latter half of the season. A big game for Kenai, and they're in desperate need of a conference win after the loss here tonight. Well, that's going to do it for our broadcast here this evening. Make sure you check RadioKenai.com for game times, listings, and station locations, and so you know what teams are playing, what sports, and where at what radio station you can listen to it on. For Keith Crawford on the Peninsula Live YouTube broadcast, for the Kenai Cardinals and Josh Fields back in our K-Beach studio, I'm Nick Sorrell saying good night and God bless.
You have been listening